Oh, so it's Thanksgiving Day, 2010. I don't know if you're all aware. Well, this is not a good Thanksgiving. One of the most surreal events in my life has occurred in the past. I found out yesterday morning that my sister is missing. My sister Stephanie. She lives in Colorado, Silverthorne, right in the middle of the ski country there. Husband's name is Dale. They've been married for quite some time. They've got 3 kids, I think 9, 6, and 4, something like that. Anyway, she's missing. And she's been missing since Monday. I've got some audios indicating my frustrations with the fact that I was kept completely out of the communication picture as far as understanding that she had marital problems, that I guess she had problems, and I you know, they usually when somebody disappears like this, she's been gone now since Monday, so that's 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday night, so it's about 3.5 days. And you know, she's pulling a stunt where she's going off to Vegas. Normally word would have come back by now that she has usually she would have given word by now where she's at. So I'm pretty sure she's not alive. I'm pretty sure she's dead. And it's an unbelievable event that's been going on. It's weird when you hear that she's been missing, and then you start thinking about the possibilities. And you know that the first thing that comes to mind is the husband. By the way, they have marital problems. In fact, Stephanie just filed for divorce just recently. In a moment of chaos, which Steph did, is she just sounds chaotic, but she rented a place, a home, bought all new furniture for it, and then changed her mind, took it back, and then got out of the lease, and then agreed to move in with Dale, and then within 24 hours of moving in with Dale, she is missing. I guess the story is she went for a walk at 10 o'clock at night and didn't come back, and Dale reported it the following morning. I guess he's been completely easygoing in the investigation. He's not hiding anything. But it is really easy to expect that Dale did it. So this is not a good Thanksgiving. I mean, it's an unbelievable event. This is something that you don't ever envision happening. It is a very, very unusual event that's occurring here. And I guess everybody in my family would have suspected that I would have been at the center of this kind of attention. That I would have been somebody that would have led to somebody being disappeared. In other words, because I'm mentally ill and this God dude, that Chris Rolla is the first sign of trouble. In fact, that would have been the stereotype that Dale would have given me. He's always respected me, but he's always respected me in the fact that I am a deranged, mentally ill person. Again, if there ever would have been a bulletin that would have come out, yeah, if we ever had a missing persons report, it would have been probably related to Chris Rolla. And it is related to me. It's just that it's not related. It's related to it's directly related. I'm related to Steph, but it's a relation that's up in Colorado. So it's an unusual time. Let me think here. This caught me out of the blue. I did not even know they had marital problems. Even though I think Steph is, I didn't talk with Steph very often because I just assumed everything was fine, and if everything's fine, anyways, it probably would have been nice had I talked with her a little bit more. Had I known any of this was going on, I seriously doubt that Steph would have filed for divorce, because I would have been sort of a guiding force that would have said to, listen, Steph, you have a good marriage. You do. You have a good man. His name is Dale, and he's providing for you, and he's doing his best, you know. Steph, what's happening with Steph? She's having an affair. She was in the midst of starting an affair. She had been this relationship going on that I didn't mention that, but that's in the middle of the chaos of moving out and stuff, and the separation, the divorce thing. I mean, seriously, my whole family thinks that she's unstable, that she just walked out the door, and just started wandering the streets. And that's the sign of chaos that Steph has exhibited, which pretty much probably led to driving Dale over the edge. And I'm just guessing that he strangled her. He strangled her. It left no mess. There's no bloody mess. Just strangled her, choked her, and she's dead. Hauled her off into the woods or else a lake, and put her in the bottom of a lake or something. And I say this as matter of factly, but boy, let me tell you what I've shed some tears today. When people, I was at Thanksgiving at Carrie's today, and when she starts crying, it's like what's the word for it? It spreads. I started tearing up. It's hard to imagine your sister gone. It's just, and the thing is that what sucks is I didn't even know her situation was occurring, because I know that I could have been a mediator to help keep this all at bay. To stop Steph from acting like an imbecile, because that's what she's acted like. She's acted like a chaotic imbecile. The word I was thinking of before was contagious. The crying is contagious. I'm if she doesn't show, if we don't get word from her showing up by tomorrow in some kind of communication, then I am 95% convinced that Dale did it in the manner that I spoke of, as strangulation, and dumped her off somewhere. And it's going to be a while before we find the body, if it's ever found. And this is something that I guess the police say that this is a common event, that the missing persons report, I guess this was the first thing that the police report said, is that this is happening quite frequently. There's a web link up in the Post where Chris Rock is saying concerning the O.J. Simpson case. He says, "Now I'm not saying he should have killed her." In other words, Nicole Brown Simpson. He says, "Now I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand." It's about understanding the situation. That if Dale did do this, and I'm quite sure that he did, that I understand. It's about putting yourself in a situation, and because I've had to deal with Donna and a lot of all the repulsive other women that have momentarily come into my life. I realize that they're all imbeciles. That they all are imbeciles. That they don't act rational. They act chaotic, and my sister Steph was acting chaotic, and she was going to cost Dale lots and lots of money. Already did. She started buying some furniture, just complete costing lots of money, and Dale's business has been on the decline for some years. So, they were having some financial struggles. And when it comes to money, there's this moment, this passion of the moment, heat of the moment, that most anybody will do some strange things. And for that, I totally understand why Dale would have done this. And from understanding this, I forgive. That yes, I will miss my sister, but I'm not sure how to quite say this, but she may have been asking for it. And that sounds bad, but I've seen women, and they think that they're acting rational, and they have no clue how stupid they're acting and sounding, and everything that comes out of their mouth is full of idiocy. And the only way to shut them up sometimes is to, in this case, stifle their airflow. And I mean, Steph having this affair thing going on, thinking that there's a better life around the corner. This guy that she was trying to get with was also married. So she's trying to have an affair with a married guy. I guess nothing sexual happened, but it was right around the corner. I guess there was a hotel booked to get together on actually the yesterday night, the day before Thanksgiving, to get together and commensurate the affair. Now, who knows if Dale found out about that? There's just a lot of chaos that Steph was bringing to the table, and you could almost, you could almost consider this to be a business decision. I mean, Dale is a businessman, and it's about money, and the fact that Steph's going to cost Dale a lot of money, and the family is going to break up. Steph's not even thinking about the family. She has vows that she's supposed to uphold, and she's breaking those to have an affair because she thinks there's a better life down the corner, because she's lived the queen life her entire life or something, and she expects to be treated like a queen, and that she doesn't understand that this is part of the views of the women that I post, that my sister thinks that she's a queen, that there's always something, there should always be a honeymoon happening every weekend. And had she come to me and talked to me that she had some problems going on, I could have set her straight and let her know that, hey, you got it good. Dale's a good man. He is a good man. He may have killed my sister, but he's still a good man. He could not help it if he did it. He could not help it. And it's like I say, a business decision. It's just, I had to do what's best for me and my family. It is an unbelievable thing that I'm having to talk, that this has occurred, that I'm talking about, that this is, I've never envisioned having to talk about something like this. So not only do I understand and forgive Dale for what he's done, but I also hope he gets away with it, because I want it's best for the kids. it's a struggle. There's this movie that came out, 127 Hours, and basically the guy's stuck. His arm is stuck underneath a rock, and he has to make a decision. And he has to do the unbelievable. He has to sever off his arm in order to actually survive. And basically that's what Dale had to do. In other words, he was left no other choice than have to sever that arm in order to make the best life possible, in order to survive and get out alive. He had to do this to my sister Steph. And I'm going to miss Steph. I'm going to miss her. I got to say, Steph was, there's like only 3 people in my family that I respect. There's seven of us. And my sister Carrie, Steph, my dad and me. And after hearing the chaos that Steph was bringing, I got to say I lost some respect for her. I thought she was more stable than this. Evidently, my sister Carrie is ranks up there with me. I'm actually pretty stable myself. I'm actually one of the most stable. My sister Carrie's got a pretty good stability going on. My dad too. Steph lost it. I did not know she was kind of like living a double life, doing this stuff. But I before all that, I mean, this is completely shocked me totally that this has happened. But I loved her. I respected her. We always had a great everything to say. Nothing ever negative, I don't think, ever happened in my life concerning her. She's always been on a high on a pedestal, and maybe that's why she didn't want to contact me, because she was embarrassed. She was embarrassed that her brother. She's embarrassed that her brother Chris would look down upon her if she were to find out her life's in chaos. Either that, or she didn't want to burden a mentally ill guy with more crap that he has to deal with. I'm not sure which one it is. Anyways, Dale, I'm sorry that you couldn't have led me into your life a little better. Dale does not respect me. He doesn't talk to me. But had I been a part of Steph's life more, had I known this was going to happen, I would have definitely gotten on the phone and talked with her about this. And this could have all been prevented via some kind of guidance here. Let Steph know that, listen, the Barbie doll life is not for you. It's not for anybody. Stop thinking you're a Barbie doll life. That's the problem. These ladies think that they've got to have the wedding every weekend. The wedding reception. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever talk to Dale ever again. I mean, not because he's never talked to me, so I doubt that now that this has occurred, I doubt he talks to me. He's got Aaron up there. He's living with Aaron. Aaron's investigating the whole thing, and as I understand, the word is that they don't suspect Dale, but it would just be shocking if some stranger picked her up on the side of the road, hitchhiked, and then killed her. That's not usually what happens. Usually it's somebody you know that's killed you. Anyways, it's just the circumstance of events. It just looks like Dale has done it, and I'm willing to bet money that if we don't hear from Steph, like I say, in the next day or two, then Dale has done it. And again, I understand. And forgive. and for the sake of the children, and I want them to grow up with a father and a stable family, and I hope he gets away with it.
Will I have your track phone serial number, please?
Yeah. 1 second.
Take your time.
Ready? Here it is. 012 111 002 897 008.
012-110-02-897-008.
I think that was wrong. Say it, it's 012 111 002 897 008.
Thank you. 012-111-002-897-008.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Okay, Christopher. I'm sorry to hear you're not able to use your text. Turn your phone off and back on.
Okay, it's off. It's coming on.
Turn it back on.
It's coming on.
Yes. Okay.
Searching for network, almost there.
Okay. Get the phone back on.
Okay, it's ready.
How many signal bar do you have?
5 bars. It's 4 now, but it was 5.
Try sending a text message. Okay. Thank you.
Well, I've got one in my outbox, and it's been sitting there. I can't get it to send. I'm trying to resend it. Can you send me a text message?
Actually, no.
Why not?
Yes. I will not be able to send you a text message because I don't have a phone to do so.
Can you put me online with somebody that can test my phone, please?
Actually, no. You could try sending a text to your friend and have your friend send you a text message.
You're my friend right now. I need you to send me a text message.
Yes, I'm glad to be your friend. I don't have any phone to send you a text message.
I don't have any friends.
I'm sorry to hear.
Well,
Okay.
I have my outbox. My outbox has one in it. It's trying to send. It cannot send. That's why I'm calling you. So I have one sitting in the outbox. So I assume as soon as I'm able to start sending, it's going to send. I'll create another one here quick. Hang on.
Okay. Try sending a text message. Go to create new message.
It's still in the outbox. It's not,
Go ahead. Did you go to create new message?
and why can't you send me a message? I don't understand.
I do not have the tools to send you a message. In order to send you a message, you need to have a phone. I do not have a track phone to send you a message.
So am I talking to track phone?
Yes, you're speaking to track phone. We don't have those access to send customer message.
Can you put me in line with somebody else, please?
Sure, I can.
Thank you.
Allow me a few moments of silence. You're very welcome. Do you have any more questions before I transfer you?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for...
Thank you for calling TrackPhone. For English, press 1. Para español, marque el 2. Thank you for calling Track. For TrackPhone, press 1. For SafeLink, press 2.
Kathy, Chris, I need to send text messages. I don't think it's working. I need to test it out. I need to test out text messages. Can you, let's both send each other a message right now. I just want to make sure that I can send. I'm having trouble sending and receiving it. Huh? All right, and I'm going to get TrackPhone on the line. TrackPhone, can you believe this shit? I'm on phone with TrackPhone, and they're telling me that they can't send me a text because they don't have a phone. Isn't that unreal? I mean, I'm like, I cannot believe it. I basically had to hang up. I said, can you give me somebody else? Give me somebody else in line. She hung up on me. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. And I'm like, so I am talking to TrackPhone, right? You guys are the cell phone service, and you don't have a cell phone. Can I speak to somebody else, please? And then she transferred me to an empty line. Hung up on me. Correct. So what I'm going to do is I might get you on the phone with TrackPhone on the landline, and then you'll send me some text messages when we're talking. Since they can't, I should have done that. I should have gotten you online when I called. I should have called you right away instead of getting frustrated. Well, let me call your other line, and then but this is my number for now, anyways. And then. Yeah, I'm gonna call you another phone here. So hang up and text me. Bye.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead and text me.
I did.
Wow, I got it. It works.
What works? Okay, but why involve? I don't want to get involved with TrackPhone.
No, maybe it works. And I don't.
It works. Just text me back. All I know is if I were you, I'd quit the company when your contract is up or whatever you got. Anybody that sells cell phones to say they can't text you because they haven't got a phone, it's like, that's very poor customer service.
Isn't that horrible? I mean, I was just like, what's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's just about the top poor customer service complaint. It takes the top. I mean, that's like the TV repairman that has never seen a TV.
Well, I think they're afraid to actually send it out because they're going to spend money. They're going to spend 7 cents in order to send one out.
Oh, is that what it does? It costs you every time? Yeah, well, you've got all these minutes.
No, let me talk, please. I don't mind sending money out. I don't mind sending a text out, but they have a problem sending text out because they got to spend money.
No, I understand that. But all I said is it costs you money to send out a text. I don't care about them anymore, okay? I care that you got your phone working, and now hopefully you were able to transfer all those minutes you had bought or not.
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass. I had to start swearing.
Because that was the whole idea. Excuse me, but that was the whole idea in the first place.
I had to start swearing for that one.
Well, all right. Maybe one time swearing is okay. But you really got them, right? I mean, you can tell you got them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So when do they run out? What's your timeline?
Okay, you just sent me a message. It seems to work.
Are you calling me from the house phone?
Yeah, the house phone, yeah.
Okay, so then you can text me. Go ahead.
Kathy, you're talking on the house phone. Why do you ask that?
No. Your house phone?
Yes, my house phone. Yeah, my Skype.
That's why I asked that, was so that I knew you could text me then, from your cell phone. Yeah, I'm not that bad, Chris, okay? I know I'm on a house phone. Okay, do we need to be on the phone anymore, or do we have to until you get a text? Probably, huh?
Okay, just make sure it gets to you. I just sent it. Finally, it took me a while to send it.
Really, how come?
So I'm in trouble writing the message. Okay, let me know if you got it.
Not yet, but... Yeah, I got it.
What number did it come from?
Yours,
Okay.
which is listed as mine in my cell phone. I got to rename it to you. All right, okay, so that's all. Then I take it, right? Hello?
Huh?
Goodbye? Goodbye now?
So it's working. I just didn't get a message back from Kenny. I told him to text me back to see if it worked. He didn't call me back.
Once in a great while, a text message will not go through. Somehow or the other, they get lost. That happened to me. Somebody didn't get a text from me. Anyway, good deal.
All right, thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Yes, goodbye.
Bye.
You're sick. Dude, I have to find some kind of business to start or something. I need to start some kind of business. Aren't just crazy. They're also psychotic too. Do you have a card where you say I'm bipolar? Because Every time you get into trouble, you can just, if the cops show up, you can just show them the card and, oh, sorry, sir. Carry on. I'm just fucking with you. Let's think about the future now. But the actual site, where is it? Oh. There. Now my IP is logged. I think it's thundering. So have you searched for .NET jobs? Do you guys have their job centers? No. No site. So what job do you want? What category do you want? Like, for example, do you just want in the computer field? Or would you like to do something else? Been there, done that, threw up. Like, you gave thousands to your site instead of the admission fee. Your line should be for and by the people. Ground-to-air missiles. Don't try to fly into S4. Oh, shit. How about mayor? How about governor? Did you see the movie, The Expendables? I allege that these priests are gaining money for themselves instead of giving money to the person which the people initially wanted to give money to. It's a fraud and a scam.
That's pretty much it. You know, basically what you said is they're giving money to the church. They're giving to in the name of Jesus to the church, when in fact it should be going to me. If the church thinks that if the church actually thinks that I'm Jesus, the money should be going to me.
Oh, dude, your name is not even Jesus.
It's Christ, Christopher.
You're never going to win that case.
Try again. They always say. If you don't
Yeah, well, try again. Don't go and get yourself off a cliff.
No cliff needed here. There's no cliff here. It's just doing something I think is right.
I don't think there's anything we can do for you. I think you're lost beyond... Judges. I find Ajax fascinating.
You find what?
Ajax, you know, that web technology. It's so interactive and automated and quick.
Yeah, so you were in a courtroom, and I'm not a man, though I am woman. So, anyway, finish what you were saying.
What, did I call you a man? Anyways,
Yeah, you said, you know, man, boy, man.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, this guy's doing 90 days in jail. I guess he pushed her wife. She called the police for assault, and he's going to do 90 days in jail. They have no contact order, and they just approved the phone contact today, so they had to like plead for that. I mean, okay, what was going on was she was pleading for the release of the contact order. Okay, understand, instead of keeping this to themselves, she involved the police, and what happened in the courtroom is that she is crying because she wants it all released.
Yeah, I hear you. That's why I'm surprised that it can't happen. I thought that it's up to her to press charges.
Well, once it's already applied to the state, it's no longer in her control. So now she can't even release that. So what was happening? I mean, I was just kind of picturing our little episode, and you know, I mean, it was just it's kind of a little different story because it was an accident. But anyways, it's sort of one of those things that you know, I mean, had we not kept it to ourselves, I mean, we probably wouldn't be making this phone call right now. It is.
If we would have kept it to ourselves,
If we didn't.
you wouldn't be making this phone call right now.
If we didn't keep.
Well, as it happened, it was fine because I kept it to myself.
Right. What I'm saying is that it's just. It was. If they would have kept it to themselves, then she wouldn't have been.
Oh, if they would have kept it to themselves, you wouldn't be making this phone call right now.
No. When we had our little thing, you know, and we, you know, we could have involved the. You know, that it was quite an episode. I mean, it's even in this case, this one today in the courtroom, they were talking about minors involved. Now they, not directly involved, but they were watching. I mean, it was so similar to what had happened with us.
Did
Except,
you know that this was going to be the case, or was it just coincidence?
no,
When you went to court today.
no, I didn't know I didn't know they were there. I just happened to be watching, just
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was, but I mean, it was just.
Quite the,
I mean, it is simply, if you want to involve the police, you know, I mean, they're there. I mean, she was crying in there because she realized that this thing is out of her control now, and that you know, a one-time little scuffle, and next thing you know, this guy's going to jail for 90 days, and that's basically what both he and she were saying. It's like, you know, I'm not a violent person, but something happened that day, you know.
yeah, I agree, and that's why I would not.
Well, I'm just saying.
You know, that's why I did not want to involve the police, because it
Well, I had.
was
I
a
mean,
mixture of circumstances.
well, I mean, I just felt so bad for everything that was going on in that case, because. I mean.
Yeah, because it is too bad that they have taken too much. Sometimes it needs to be in the control of the law.
I mean, you just. I mean, they're going to probably have to get they don't want to get a divorce. They're going to probably have to, because they are not going to be allowed to be together.
Why aren't they? I thought that separation thing was just for.
Well, it's for probation. You know, I'm not sure how long it is, but.
Yeah, no, yeah, they didn't get a good lawyer. There's no way on earth that they should have. First of all, if he's in jail, they're already separated for 90 days, so.
Well, he's in the courtroom. He was in the courtroom today, but no, he's. You know, he was. You know, Joe Soley is the guy I had when I was having my court problems back in. He's worthless, man. That guy's worthless, man.
Was he their lawyer?
Yeah, he sucks, man. I mean, this is the best. I mean, I'm just.
What's his name?
Joe Soley.
What's his name? So that,
Soley. Joe Soley, man. He sucks.
Yeah, no, there's just some that are not too good, and unfortunately, yeah, I don't know, and we'll not worry about them. You know what I'm saying, Chris? Let them.
Oh, I mean, it's hard.
We each have to take care of our lives. So, I mean, it's interesting, like you said, and it's sad, but I would say don't dwell on it too much, because, you know, it can be depressing. You know.
I don't.
And yes,
go ahead.
In some states, just the reporting like you had done would have automatically taken it away from our choice. So
Yeah, you know,
we lucked out. I mean, that was what I had said to you before in the letter prior to your contacting them, but you hadn't read it, what I said. You know,
no, you're right. I didn't.
This could happen. So
Yeah, you know, I read.
we were lucky.
Well, I mean, you know, I even after reading, yeah, right, I read it after I did that, right, but even when I read your thing, I'm thinking, well, Okay, do you know that when this vandalism occurred with my car, that I got on the phone with the Jackpot police, and I record most of my conversations. I mean, I got the Jackpot security, and I started telling him my story. It kind of reminded me of you because he wouldn't let me speak a word. I'm trying to explain what happened, and he kept barging in every time and said, "Well, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean." And I couldn't even express even 1/5 of my story, and so I eventually started f-bombing it. Right? Fuck you! What the what the? Why don't you let me speak? And I
Where's this line?
Huh? Well, I recorded it and then I gave it to the police, and he says, and I was just because I got so frustrated that he wouldn't let me speak. He looked guilty. The guy at the Jackpot looked guilty. Okay, and I gave it to the police, and the police tells me that I could have got a misdemeanor for that, for disturbing the peace.
Disturbing whose peace by calling his names?
Yeah, by calling him names, by using the F-bomb.
Yeah, there's a veto that.
No, I didn't know. I thought he was. I mean, I almost.
No, but I mean, you know that there are laws that they can enact on just about everything. So why weren't you charged with disturbing the peace?
Because they didn't report it. They didn't make an effort. They didn't make an effort. It's kind of like you didn't make the effort. They didn't make the effort. It's kind of one of those things you got.
No, it isn't that I didn't make the effort. I chose not to do it. It's different
Well,
thing.
that's what I mean. I don't think even Jackpot would have been aware that I was. It's so funny.
I want to change, momentarily I want to change this because this reminds me, you heard about the guy that he shot his TV because Bristol Palin is winning the dances,
Okay.
Have you heard that?
Okay.
You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Okay, do you know who Bristol Palin is?
Yeah, yep.
And that she's on Dancing with Stars.
Yep, okay, yep. I didn't know about this guy
Right,
shooting.
and now there's two theories. One is that she is winning because a lot of people see her like them. She started out as a non-dancer, but she has improved weekly, and a lot of people relate to her common ground and vote for her, okay?
Yep.
And she is really good. I mean, she's improved, but she's no way as good as, say, Jennifer Grey and some of the others. Jennifer Grey is the gal that was in Dirty Dancing, so she already has some dancing behind her. But anyway, and she's really good, and so were others better, but the people vote and they added up with the judges. So anyway, this guy got so pissed that he shot his TV, and he was charged with disturbing the peace, even though, even though he wasn't hurting anybody. But the fact that a gunshot disturbs the peace of your neighbors, they worry or whatever. So he was charged. I don't know. He probably won't get a whole lot. It's a misdemeanor. But anyway, that's what that reminded me of. So that was kind of funny.
That is it's kind of I mean, both stories are funny. The fact that he shot the TV and then you say he got a ticket?
A misdemeanor.
He got arrested or what?
A misdemeanor.
A misdemeanor.
Well, he probably has to go to court. It's probably a summons. Whatever. It's a charge, so he does probably have to.
He has to report that on his employment record for his next job.
No, not necessarily. Not if it's a real minor misdemeanor. It just depends on.
I guess the whole thing, Kathy, gets me a little nervous when, I mean, I make me nervous because, actually, way to say this is, I make me nervous, but it's because you and Ramona make me nervous. When I get upset like I did a few weeks back, and it makes me nervous that people can do that to me. And
So that's why you have anger management. You walk away from the situation.
Yeah.
Now, nobody's asking you to be around me. Nobody's asking you to be around Ramona. Okay.
It scares me that somebody can utterly piss me off like to that much. That and the thing is they don't seem to understand. Like you and Ramona don't seem to understand what exactly it is that's pissing me off. The thing is,
I do understand. Chris, wait. Now, I hardly talked this time around, okay? I do understand. That's why I have left you alone. There's just, sometimes you're better off not having a relationship with somebody unless and until it's necessary. So that's why you're the one that's instigating this phone call right now. I'm not. And it could lead to you getting mad if I said anything, but I have no intention of it. I'm not going to talk much because it doesn't take much to piss you off, Chris. I made the other day I couldn't hear you, and so I misunderstood something, and that made you swear at me. Not in anger.
I don't think I swore.
But,
I just had to.
Yeah, you did. You said what? You said something about fuck. You didn't, But I'm just, and then you kind of laughed about it, and then you had to hang up and, make a big deal. Now, if I would have taken that personally, we could have turned it into an argument, but I just have no desire to anymore. Chris, I got the message loud and clear. You do not have to call me up every week and tell me that I upset you, okay?
I'm not calling. I'm not calling today to have any kind of bad report.
Right, but I mean, you don't ever have to bring that up again, Chris.
Well,
I got the picture. What you do have to bring up is when, hey, you don't bother me anymore. Like Donna, like I told you, when I said, I'm cool about Donna, she does, nothing about her bothers me anymore. I had to work on that. Every time I thought about her, off and on, not regularly, but, off and on, there would be some bad memories. But what I did is I replaced it with the good memories that were really there. Even if they weren't there for her, they were there for me. And I left it at that. Now I'm at peace.
Yeah, that's probably a good tactic.
It works.
The thing,
don't try too hard because, look, you're leaving, you're moving. You're going to be out of my life. I'm out of your life.
Well, I'm not sure I'm moving quite yet. I don't know when that's going to be, but if I ever get a job, yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to move no matter what.
Well, I might.
You'll have to make that decision then.
Yeah,
okay.
But
I just want to say
the point of the phone call was I cannot believe how little you can do. It sounded as though he just pushed her, and the kids got all excited because, and I guess the kids came into play to try to break it up, and that was part.
How old were the kids?
I don't. There's 5 kids, I guess. I'm guessing one of them is. I'm guessing.
It's hardly our scenario. The kids were there, and they did try to break it up, but you didn't hurt them or touch them or do anything. So.
But the whole thing is the word kids came up, and it was almost like, okay, this is now really on fire, okay, and then. And like I said, I cannot believe he got 90 days in jail. It sounded as though I asked Joel, I said, at the end, I said, so he got 90 days in jail for pushing her. Is that all he did? And I guess he said no, there was more. But that was all that was said.
There might have been. There might have. We don't know everything, do we?
I'm telling you that it just scares me.
Chris, don't be afraid of me and Ramona.
Seriously, I thought about almost as a comical joke that I should file a restraining order on me to protect myself from you.
From me?
Yeah, to keep me away from you.
Oh,
So
why? What are you talking about?
it sounds like a joke, but it's kind of like I'm almost like nervous about myself. Like it's just how. And
So, fine, do it, but
no,
that's ridiculous.
You know, it's just that I almost thought, say, God, you know, I mean, just the alternative. The alternative is just.
Let
so,
me say something, Chris. First of all, I appreciate the effort you have put in to controlling your temper. Over the years, you have improved tremendously. You've improved tremendously, but on the other hand, you know, it sometimes does get out of control. Okay. But I just want to say that you have really gone a long, long way. All right? So if you could do that, you do not have to hurt me. Do you have thoughts in your mind about wanting to hurt me? This
No.
is not a question that I really should be asking.
No, I don't. There was an accident occurred in my apartment, and I could have gone to jail for that. And that's what scares me. That's what scares me. Is that in a moment of in 3 seconds of just like I need to clear house. I need to clear house. Things can just go wrong, and next thing you know, I could be in jail, and that's what scares me.
Well, Chris, it could have been so many bad cases. I mean, if you look at everything that I said was a good thing.
I mean,
my glasses didn't break. My face didn't break too much. I didn't have my teeth in.
okay. Not just you. But say, for instance, I'm on the phone with Jackpot, and he's acting like a total imbecile. He won't let me talk. It kind of reminds me of you sometimes, where you won't let me talk. So I just start.
Okay, now you don't have to bring that up all the time either. You've made your point.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
I'm trying to be
saying,
good.
No, what
I'm trying to be good.
I'm not saying it's just you. I'm just what I'm trying to say. I don't mean to bring up you again. I'm just saying it's not just you. Is that I can get upset at other people too, and the next thing you know is I am. Little do I know that a few F words can land me a misdemeanor, okay? And it's just like, you got to be kidding me! Like this is the way life is, and so it's not about you, Kathy, so much that I can get. Well, for one thing, it's hard to believe that a few F-bombs can land me in misdemeanor. It really is hard to believe that. It's amazing to me that my training in the Navy, which taught me how to swear and just start F-bombing it left and right whenever I get upset, that's actually illegal. That what I've been taught in the Navy is now illegal, to get upset and start F-bombing it. Okay?
Well, no, under certain circumstances you would probably not have any problem. But anyway, get over it. You learned. You're lucky. See, you're learning, Chris. That's what... That has been why I encourage you guys from little on that fighting is never a solution. And the reason I wanted to get that ingrained in you guys is because I didn't want to see any of you go to jail. Because, you talk about what can happen. Death can happen from somebody getting pushed, Chris. A pure accident, right? The death can happen. And you're in jail for the rest of your life, intentionally or not, you see. And you get into a fist fight with somebody, and that's what I always encourage you guys, is to walk away if somebody wanted to fight, and you always did, most of the time anyway. And that is because, one, you see it in TV shows all the time. Somebody gets hit in the jaw, they fall back, they hit the fireplace mantle, right? You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, you're learning that you can't swear at people on the phone, at least nobody that's going to know your name, your number. Although now with your numbers being traceable. You got a few more minutes to talk, and then I'm going to be watching Larry King. There's
Okay.
something I wanted you to watch the other day. What in the heck was it? I forget what it was. Let's think of. I figured you'd probably watch it. Oh, yeah, it was Oprah Winfrey, and there was a healer on there. His name was John, and he's from Brazil. Have you ever read about him?
No.
I guess I should have called you. You can go to the Oprah site and watch clips, but yeah, he's a quite interesting guy. Well, anyway, is there anything else you need to say on this?
Well,
I think you've gotten your...
it helps clear my mind. I'm just a little bit nervous about just myself and the way that I am and the way that society does not react well with that volatility. And it's not so much physical. No, I mean, like I said, what happened with you was a mistake. I don't ever touch anybody. But the mouth can go, and you know,
Chris, the same is true of you. You could have put charges on that one guy that flicked you in the eye.
Yeah, yes, and
please just remember that if anybody ever hurts you or tries to hurt you, run. Don't walk away, run away, and put charges on them. You know, instead of letting it be.
Well, you know,
I don't want you hurt. I don't want you hurting somebody.
No, I know it's about a docile environment, and that you know, when the tires slashing and that whole thing, it's just, you know, it's just, that's the last thing that I need in my life, you know, was to be something like that, some kind of chaos. And then I started swearing. I was swearing. I recorded me swearing at the downstairs neighbor. That's not who I suspect did it, you know. The downstairs neighbor.
Yeah, I don't, you know, Chris, I don't want to discuss this to death
Right.
because it's all over with. For one thing,
But
see, this is how you heal anger.
Yeah,
This is how you heal anger is letting it go, even though it makes you angry. Every time you think about it, you build it up so that energy is there, and that's what makes it volatile. And the peace part is where you replace it with, you know, there's good and bad thoughts about everybody.
No,
and
I'm
you know,
I'm
so,
good. I'm good now. I mean, it took me a week to calm down, but I'm good now. It is simply, you know. You know, I can only imagine what's going on. If my neighbor did do it, I can only imagine what's going on in his mind, that I'm driving him that bonkers. I'm not even stepping in his bedroom. His bedroom is my storage room. I don't even step in there. And somehow, me having on a little bit of music or walking around a little bit in the main room and maybe the bathroom, I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, if you think that I've got it bad, imagine somebody downstairs who decides that I'm going to puncture somebody's tires. Because I am that built up frustration. I mean, I'm actually pretty docile when it comes to that. I mean, it's like, you know, to be that anal, that guy is that anal that he would do that. You know,
dumpsters, you name it. Another alternative is, you know, a stranger. That's always that possibility of dumping her. Another one is that one that has been presented that would be very hopeful is that she just needed space and went someplace where she knew she would be able just to have quiet. And it isn't a public place, but it is a place where she's sheltered and alive, okay? We do have that hope.
Jesus, man, this is the strangest phone call. I mean,
Tell me about
I can't believe it. I figured Steffi was the stable one out of all of us.
I agree. Erin asked me when she was doing this, do you think she could be manic depressive? And I said, you know, of everybody, she's you know, pretty well grounded.
This is the strangest. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that I'm having this conversation that Steph is gone. That Steph is missing. And
Yeah, well, we're hoping she's not gone, but we are also looking at that possibility. We have to look at it up. And of course, if Dale, of course, you know, being the husband, will be under suspicion, but not suspicion, if you know what I mean. There's no reason to suspect him.
right, there's no
There's no
way.
reason to suspect him other than there were anger issues that she actually had an injunction against him for 2 weeks.
Oh God,
But it was-
Jesus,
But
man.
it was removed by both of them amicably. The anger issues were from times past. But the fact of the matter is that this will cast some suspicion on Dale. But he's very distraught
Oh
at this
God,
time. He's very distraught. At this time,
Jesus, man. This is. Oh God, I can't believe it.
I know, well, you're welcome to come over here or stay over there and read the document if you can get at it. Aaron will add your name. I just didn't know what email address. I haven't had a chance to get to the computer. I've had 2 hours of sleep because we went and got Mona and the kids last night because we were worried about the roads. You see? We were worried about the roads today. They were supposed to get them today, but we were worried about the icy
Okay,
freeze.
All right.
So anyway, there is a lot of information to read. It'll take you at least a half an hour. So if I can get at a computer,
And don't.
I can have you read it. I can have you read it if you want to.
I don't. I mean, this.
If you're not ready to read it, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm probably not ready. But.
You're welcome also to come over here at any time. And
Oh my God, this is the strangest thing. I cannot believe it.
yeah, I know your feelings, Chris, because this is where we were all at last night. Ernie and I found out Aaron called. Okay, Dale called Aaron. The police were called in the morning by Dale, and then Dale called Aaron by about around 3:30. Aaron's time, maybe something like that.
I mean, Steph, what are you doing? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
And incidentally, the day that she had gotten upset with Dale to the point to where she was going to get a divorce from him, she also lost her job. I think, did I tell you that she had lost her job? Maybe not. But they laid off a bunch at the county. Well, she wound up getting another job within a week, Chris, so that was the good part. But it was a very downsized job, both dollar-wise. She made $6 an hour less, and more rigid. You know, she had more freedom with the other job. So she eventually wasn't liking her job. But we got okay. I talked to her on the actual phone was the day I went to Coma Park Zoo. You know that day because you were going into the city that day also, Chris. You called here.
Yeah.
You stopped at Carrie, so that would have been when you were going in for 2-3 days.
Okay, yep.
You were visiting.
All right, yep. What was that day? What was that day?
It was on a Sunday.
Yeah, what was the symbolic of? What happened?
7th or 8th. Well, nothing. That was the last time I talked to her. And
Oh.
she had just gotten out of a retreat for 4 days, and she was very good. But I could only talk to her about 5 minutes or more because we were just entering the zoo area, so I couldn't talk to her too long.
Did Steph just...
But anyway,
something happened in her mind that just all of a sudden she starts doing this?
well, she could have had a nervous breakdown. You know, it's very possible.
Holy
She could have had a
cow.
nervous breakdown.
I almost can't listen to any more of this. I almost can't.
I think that's fine. Then let's not. Because I need to go anyway. But
Okay.
that's why I encourage. But Aaron wanted, oh my gosh, it's starting to be icy rain already, and the wind is really coming down. If you're going to be doing any traveling today, coming out here, stay in mind that you don't need to come out here, okay? There is, unless you need to. But just keep in mind that right now it's going to be icy rain, okay? It's happening right now.
Okay.
It's really windy. So
God.
the gravel is usually pretty easy to drive on, but if you decide you're coming out, you let us know that you're leaving so that we know to expect you. You know. Okay? Just in case you, or make sure you've got winter survival stuff in your car if it gets too icy. But usually the gravel is pretty easy to ride on.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Well, anyway, yeah, bye.
Bye.
Tried to call.
Is there any update?
No. We will, if there is any update that would be pertinent at all, we'll call you, of course.
I didn't even know that there was any marriage problems in there.
It was happening around that time, when, you and I weren't talking, so it wasn't something that I shared with you. And he, for whatever reason, she was reluctant to share it with just about any of us. She did share it with everybody, but very little information at the time. So
She shared with everybody, but a little bit. I didn't even know one whim, Kathy, that there was I thought they were Beaver and Cleaver. I thought they were the Cleaver family with the marriage.
Well, I see what you're coming from. Over the years, I knew that there was some crises. Yes, I did. But as her mother, it wasn't something that I could just share. You know what I mean? It was what she shared with me over the years was confidential. And yes, they did work out, and they did have quite a good marriage. But there was violence issues sometimes, Chris. And that was something that,
I mean, why do I know this now when I can't say goodbye to Stephanie? Why do I know this now? Why is it important that I know all this information now?
I can't say goodbye to her either, if there is a situation. Why are you any different than us? Where is this goodbye?
Kathy, I could at least have a talk. I could at least have a talk with her to find out what's going on in her marriage. You know, I didn't even know there was a problem.
I understand that, but she wasn't talking to anybody. I mean, she would not talk to Aaron. She wouldn't talk to Carrie. She wouldn't talk to Ramona on the phone, okay? And she hardly talked to me. So she wouldn't have talked to you, Chris. She didn't want to. She said, I do not want to talk with anybody about this, okay? I can't tell you any more than that.
I'm sorry, but I think it's important that you tell me that she's got marital problems. I didn't even know this. And why is it that you can tell me? Why is it?
Chris, at the time that she was having this, you were very angry with me. Why would I talk to you at that time about that when everything I said you were getting?
I don't understand.
It was not a good time between you and me for me to tell you, and then she wasn't having marital problems after that. They were working things out. It was going to be a separation. That's not having marital problems. That's, whatever. But I didn't want to give any news until there was something to say. There was no news. It wasn't something I even wanted to talk about or think about around here. Ernie and I didn't even talk about it beyond the initial stuff.
Okay,
Chris, I gotta quit now because I'm getting upset because I wouldn't even let Aaron talk to me about it. I couldn't take any more upset. And I needed to give Steph her own space, and I didn't talk about it with Steph, and I didn't talk about it with Carrie, and I didn't talk about it with Ramona. Yes, we had knowledge of it, but we didn't talk about it. It was Steph's business, and yes, you can be angry, but this is it. You're not going to be angry at me.
I mean, why even tell me she's missing? What makes it exactly my business that I should know that she's missing and perhaps dead?
You have to figure that one out for yourself. If you can't see it as more important than I can.
I see. So I can't say goodbye to my sister because you've decided what's important for me to know.
I did not decide anything. Steph did. She did not include you in the letter. So you tell me why I should. All right?
There was a letter. Okay, there was a letter. There was a letter.
It was, you were at a show. Oh, across the street.
Yeah, across the street at that Senate, that arts museum thing, or arts
Yeah, the
thing.
new arts museum. Yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
Listen, you know, how many kids do you have?
Well, between the wife and I, we have 6. I have 2, she has 4. From previous marriages, and then we got 10 grandkids.
Listen, I need somebody to talk to. I got something serious in the family is occurring here in my family. It looks like it looks like my sister is missing. And that could mean that she's dead.
Where does she live?
She's in Colorado. Here's the problem is I have just been told that she's missing, and that, oh, by the way, she had marriage problems, and there was a injunction on the two. They had legal things going on and the problem is, Dick, is that I thought that was a marriage of the Beaver Cleavers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great.
Our appearances don't mean everything.
Well, no. It's not appearance. The thing is everybody knew in my family except for me.
Hmm.
And I am mad. I'm mad because I did not know that there was any problems. I could have had a talk with my sister. She's one of my. I don't get along with too many of my family members, and this sister that's missing, who knows what's happened to her, I was in the top 2. I have 7 family members, and she's in the top 2. And so here it is.
I was going to ask you how many were in your family.
Yeah, there's 5 kids and there's 2 adults, and well, she's in the top 3. But the thing is I could have given her some guidance, you know. I mean, for a guy who myself has gone through a marriage breakup, it's you know, I would think I would have some advice. The thing is my family, my mom.
No, just talking to her, you know, helps. If for nothing else, you made contact and you show concern, you know.
No, Dick, I did not have a chance to do that. Dick.
That's what I mean, but that would have helped her, I think.
Yes. That's right. That's exactly what I'm saying. That would have helped. Had I known anything was going on, I could have assisted of some sort, right?
Was anybody else in the family even trying to help her? Do you know if anybody tried to contact her of your other siblings?
Everybody knew except me.
Well, what were they doing about it? You know, that's my question. Is she remote to everybody? I mean, there's nobody that lives in her neighborhood. She's in Colorado.
She's in Colorado. She's got an uncle in Denver, not too far away. Dick, my frustration is, why would they inform me now that she's missing when I had no input in her life before? Why would they choose? Why would they choose? Huh?
Wait till the last minute, I guess, to you know, thinking they're handling it, and then all of a sudden they're not handling it. So then they think they better divulge to everybody concerned. You know, which would be, you'd really be pissed if you found out later that they knew all about it and everything was wrapped up, and then, you know, you found out about it, so they have to inform you, I think. But it's amazing that they didn't, you know, something that serious, if they knew something was going on, that they didn't disseminate that throughout the family. Most families do with their families, you know. If there's one of them in trouble, the rest of them know about it. That, you know, with our case, it's like 2 separate families. My 2 boys, the 2 brothers, even though they're miles apart, you know, across the United States, they keep in touch with one another. And the other 4 of Trude's are all down in the Phoenix area. So they know when one of them is in trouble, which has happened, you know, earlier this year. The one lost his job that was in collections, and consequently lost his house. So they were, you know, getting ready for him to move in, but he was able to find a rental for what he was making now in a new job. He could afford rather than move in with one of them, so they were ready to take him in. And he and his wife and 2 kids, you know, so there's 2 of the other ones that are single. The 2 older ones are male and female, are both single. You know, haven't been prior marriages. But they would have, the daughter would have, you know, the sister, I should say, would have taken him in. She's, you know, at home alone, got her house of her own. But that didn't happen. But would be very hazardous at this point going out that way, and you're certainly not going to fly out there. So it's almost pointless that they tell you, but it's probably good that they informed you. The only thing is, I don't know what you can do about it, and what are they doing about it? That's my next question.
It's kind of, I was thinking of an analogy. It's kind of like them not telling me that, oh, by the way, Steph's wearing bald tires, and she's not wearing a seatbelt, and her rear mirror is broken, and she's got little brake fluid in her cylinder in her car, and they're telling me this, and then all of a sudden they tell me at the end, oh yeah, by the way, she went off the road when flipped her car over, and then they tell me that, and without telling me, you know, the important details that maybe I could let her know. Maybe you should get some new tires, you know. Maybe you know. And I can't do anything. I can't do anything. So why do they tell me if they discluded me this entire time? Why would they choose to include me when the catastrophe has occurred?
Mm-hmm. Do you have contact information for her, like her cell phone or her home phone?
I do. Had I known anything, I could have given her a call and say, "Hey, how's it going, sis? I think we have a mutual respect for each other. I feel she's one of my favorite siblings, and I'm in distraught."
Yeah. And she was married, you say?
Yeah.
And they were having marital troubles? How long were they having, well, every marriage has marital troubles, but how long were they that you knew about it?
Dick, I'm just finding out about it. I thought they were the Cleavers. I don't...
You mentioned that before, that it was the ideal family.
Yeah.
Did they have any kids?
Yeah, they've got 3.
Oh, man.
Yeah, old man is right. Old man is right. I mean, this is... I cannot believe what's happening here. I cannot believe that I was left in the dark.
Mm-hmm. What does her husband have to say about it, JP?
He's probably in the main suspicion of her missing. It's one of those cases.
Yeah, I would, you know, that came to my mind too, but that's not necessarily true. There could be a third party involved, but I'm wondering how he's pursuing it. You know, has he got everything he can do going for him? You know, get the police active in the missing persons and that sort of thing. Or is he just sitting on his butt, knowing that what happened?
Dick, I've been so left in the dark that I've just got a few words of here and there, so I don't even know the story, Dick. I'm just like, the catastrophe has occurred because I didn't have a chance to give her any input or have some guidance in her life to help her get over her depression or whatever she's in, right?
Yeah. Has your mom and dad been involved with her?
Yeah, I think everybody knew, except for me.
They probably thought you had enough trouble with your own, I suppose, but still, when it's family, I think they should let you know, I think. Well, anyway, how things going in your life?
Oh, God.
Are you working on anything yet?
I got certified, so I'm looking for a job right now. I got certified.
Yeah.
Certified.net's fairly good move.
Nothing yet, huh?
Nothing yet.
It's that kind of world anyway, and that's probably even double tough for you, you know.
Well, yeah, it's I haven't worked in 8 years. I haven't worked a regular job in 8 years, so it is tough. It's tough for me. It's
do you get help from the VA in any way? Your former...
My medication is only, I get the health care.
That's your sole support of health care is VA, right?
That is correct. It's all right. I don't get hurt, and I just get a few drugs here and there.
Yeah, I wonder if they're doing their job to the full extent too. That's one of the concerns of veterans that belong to Veterans Peace Group in
Dick, I can't complain very much. I mean, I pay a co-charge of $9 for my pills, and
That's reasonable enough.
yeah, and I go visit for copay of whatever, $15 to go visit. That's very reasonable. I can't really complain. I do feel I'm disabled in part because of the military, and I did apply for I did apply for disability based on
Yeah, being able to work for 8 years, you would think so.
I just feel that my time in the Navy taught me how to swear a lot and become.
Yeah.
I actually seriously think I've got Tourette's, and that's why. It's because in the Navy you kept saying "F you" all the time, right? And
Yeah, that's for everything. Every other word.
And if you take a perspective of it, it looks like Tourette's. You just start swearing.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I don't hear you swear that much, as far as that goes. Not any more than anybody else nowadays.
It's not about that. It's not so much about that as I have a way of shocking people. I enjoy shocking them. It's kind of a version of Tourette's in which I sort of don't have control of it. I like to shock people, even though I'm not really conscious that it's really going to be that offensive to them.
Well, let's put it this way. A lot of people in this United States need some shocking, in various ways.
Yeah.
The way the public acts anymore. They got us mesmerized with reality shows and ball games, and that seems to be the emphasis. Let's keep the public dumbed down, is the way I'm reading it. That's what I see going on.
Yeah. So I'm working on another certification, studying for that, and I don't know. Hopefully see my kids here at Christmas time.
Where are they now?
They're in the Bahamas.
Yeah. They don't live there, I assume. They're vacationing there. Is that the reason they're in the Bahamas? Is it they're vacationing, or is it a permanent residence for them? Still there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking of something. Say the question again.
No, I was wondering if your kids are there permanently or vacationing there.
No, they're there permanently.
And that's pretty hard to get them here, or you go there, for that matter.
It is hard. It's a tough environment. It's I thought about living there, which is possible. It's just that it's just not quite possible,
From a monetary standpoint. Is there any job prospects there?
No, there's no jobs there, and if I decide not to have a job for a while, I could go there and live off I have Social Security, right? I have disability, and
Yeah.
I could. It's more expensive. It's more expensive to live there, and
It is.
yeah.
I would think it was cheaper. But
No, it's expensive.
you probably would lose your VA entitlement then too, wouldn't you, if you moved there?
Well, yeah, I'd have to maybe order my drugs
Yeah,
via mail order.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I just wish that I would have made it so that she could, stay put in U.S. so that I mean, had she moved any place in the U.S., I'd be okay, but I could just move there. But where she's at in the Bahamas is too remote.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is, and I don't know how you can help your sister at this point, you know, if she's missing. So, I don't see anything you can do at this point, you know, really. Even, let's put it this way, even if you had a job and are well-to-do, what are you going to do? You know, there's nothing anybody can do until the law enforcement takes their course of action. So it puts an extra burden on you, you know. It's probably what the family was thinking, like, well, what's Chris going to do? You know, he can't do anything, but they at least tell you in advance of what was going on. Like you say, that they could put you in touch with her. Had you been in touch with her before? I mean, did you talk to her frequently or anything?
I didn't talk with her frequently because I always thought everything was cool with her. I thought everything was fine.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I mean, you don't talk to somebody. There's no need to talk to somebody if everything's going fine. Although, you know, if you could to keep touch, I just think it's could it be that I'm mentally ill and there's no use in the Chris. We don't want to let Chris involved because Chris is just going to be full of non-wisdom, you know, in his life because he's mentally ill. You don't see it. The problem is it because that I'm. You know, I don't even care what the reason is. I think it's a total disrespect of courtesy to not tell me what's going on in her life.
I agree. Yeah, I don't know any advice that I could.
God.
Yeah, it's a puzzler, no doubt. Just to sit by and wait for time to pass doesn't seem like a good answer either, but what else is there? Yeah, similar situation with a cousin of mine that used to keep in touch a couple times a year. We used to write letters, and then we got computers, you know, we used to keep in touch that way. She moved from her house. She had been divorced once, remarried, and then her husband died. So she sort of inherited the community property, you know, other than they had an orange and avocado grove, but the kids were willed the actual proceeds from the grove, and she got to keep the house in a prenuptial agreement, I would assume. So she moved into a townhouse in the town of Riverside, California, and she was all excited about moving to her house, and that's been 2 years ago, and I haven't hardly heard a word from her since. So I wonder what's going on with her world, you know. She's got two brothers that live in Iowa that I'm assuming they're keeping in touch with her. Her dad is still alive. He's in a nursing home there in Iowa. That's why they're there. But it's strange that I haven't heard from her, you know. But, yeah.
Well, anyways, Dick.
I wish I had some answers for you, but I can't see what you could do. You know, I really don't. It's frustrating, no doubt.
Yeah, it is. It sucks. It really does suck.
Well, you're still in touch with your mom, right? You see her frequently, or at least sometime during the year?
Yeah, she's just a few miles away.
Yeah. You talked anything over with her?
I did, and she ended up hanging up on me when I was like trying to find out why I couldn't been informed.
Yeah. Probably a wrong move, yeah, on her part.
Well, I can't believe it. I can't believe this is happening. And I can't believe that my family disrespected me that much. That they didn't feel that I could be involved in this.
They probably don't look at it that way, you know. They probably look at it as, you know, not putting another onus on you, but...
That's true. It could have been, you know, no need to put another burden on Chris because...
That's what I think.
You know, Dick, though, that there's... You ever been... You think your life's crappy, then all of a sudden you see somebody in a wheelchair with some kind of MS or something, you know?
Disability, yeah.
And you go, you know, life's not so bad, you know, now that I've seen other people's world. it's kind of like that with my sister. In other words, it's almost, you almost want to tell other people about other miseries, because it makes yourself feel better. That at least I don't have that going on, you know, or that going on.
Embarrassment. Yeah.
Embarrassment?
Yeah, things are always, you know, worse in someplace than what we're involved in, for sure.
So instead of them thinking it's a burden that they're placing on me, think of it as, hey, maybe it's a relief that Chris's world isn't the only one that's falling apart.
I don't know if they look at it that way, but, you know, it's hard to envision how people, you know, what's in their heads.
Yeah, I would, what, about my life falling apart? Yeah, I didn't really mean that. But I mean, I just got, you know, I'm trying to, you know, I'm getting certified, trying to get a job again, so I guess, you know, that burden. And does that make sense though? I mean, when you see somebody else's life that's not so well, you think, well, that could be, you know, that's, maybe my life's not so bad, right?
Yeah, but if you keep doing that, you know, everybody says one's better than the other, but everybody's getting worse, then everybody's getting worse in total, too. That's the way I see it. Like, you know, I don't want to be better than the worst person. I want them to be better so I can be better. You know, that's sort of thinking. It's, I think, a better way to look at things, but you can't do anything in this case that could make it any better that I can see. How long has she been missing now?
Since Monday. Claims that she went for a walk, and that's the story. Went for a walk, and I, you know, if she took some pills and decided to commit suicide, overdose, and she would be laying somewhere, and I think they would have found her by now.
Yeah, I think that she went for a walk, you know. That isn't knowing it. I wouldn't think, you know, that without returning the same day, you know, after a short while, that was something screwy there for sure. It's either foul play or like you say, she may have got despondent and done something worse to herself, or she could be sitting in a motel someplace just wondering what she should do for whatever reason that she pulled this. That's the only hope that one would have, I suppose.
Well, there's not much to be thankful for this Thanksgiving for me. That's for sure. I mean, my family has said no thanks to me as far as telling me about my sister's situation, and all of a sudden the catastrophe of all catastrophes occurs, you know?
Mm-hmm. Or at least it suspected that. Well, all I can say is keep up hope, you know.
Yeah. All right, Dick,
That's about the only thing.
thanks for, I need to talk to somebody. I appreciate it.
No, that's fine. Anytime, Chris.
All right.
You know, as a matter of fact, I would have been probably on the road and not got your call if I had our way, but I was going to travel to my son, who's the nearest one to me, the youngest son, down in Missouri, for a Thanksgiving dinner, you know, which we've done in years past, but not the last three, always because of weather problems. And here we have the same thing today, which, you know, I probably could have risked it. And went down there. It's about a 550-mile drive, so it's an all-day drive to be there for Thanksgiving, and probably a day or two afterwards. And then I was going to run up about halfway back home to visit an elderly aunt of mine. Actually, there's two of them, one by marriage and one blood-related, that live right across the street from one another, so I'd see them both, you know, and spend a couple of days there with my aunt, which she always puts us up to visit with her. And I have several friends in that town. It's our hometown, so we visit with other people too, and I was looking forward to that. And the weather kind of put a kink in those plans, but still in all, I'm thankful that, you know, everybody, as far as I know, is in, you know, normal shape. To, you know, they all have their money problems, and their jobs aren't going that well, just like the rest of America. And we're not in any very good the wife and I mean, we're living pretty comfortably yet, but we see our nest egg dwindling while we're doing it. Of course, our life is dwindling too as we do it. Matter of fact, last Wednesday, a week ago, we attended a seminar down there pretty close to where we meet at the Caribou. There's that white funeral home on Nicollet.
Yeah.
And there was a seminar for our seniors down there. There was about 125 seniors, all silver-haired, and some single, their spouses died, and some that are still married yet. A lot of them were veterans. With questions, and it was an invitation by the funeral home to let veterans know that, actually they're trying to drum up business for the funeral parlor, but by the same token, they did put out a lot of good information about Minnesota's medical assistance and what you have to do to get it, where you have to be money-wise, and what the cost of funerals were, both the two different kinds of cremation and the normal funerals, and what the veterans' benefits were if they were planning on doing that, and how to assist in senior living and how to downsize, and had people there that are well qualified to do these things. So it was kind of an informative thing for all of us that are getting near the end, so to speak. You have death is part of life, and we have to plan for that too. A lot of times instead of leaving it in somebody else's hands. So we found it pretty informative and reinforcing that there's other people in our same boat that are doing these prospects of looking at what to do for the rest of life, and not put a burden on others. But
All right, Dick. Well, thank you very much.
Many hard decisions either. So all I can say is hang in there, Al.
Yeah.
Just hang in there, Chris.
All right, Dick. Thank you, sir, for chatting. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have as good a Thanksgiving as you can.
All right.
All right. Talk to me anytime.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
How are you?
You want me to call on your cell phone?
No, you're fine. What you doing?
I called two people, and anyways, that's why I didn't. I was talking with the other person when you called a second earlier. Boy, you wouldn't believe after your tragedy, I think I've got one going on in my family. Give you the heads up here. Sister is missing. Since Monday. She's in Colorado and she's missing, and I guess nobody knows what's going on. And of course, this occurs just before Thanksgiving.
Oh no.
So I don't have much to be thankful for. The reason why I was going to call you is I just got done talking with my friend Dick, and so I kind of got it off my chest. But basically, I thought my sister had a Beaver Cleaver marriage, a Cleaver family. I thought everything was hunky dory. And it turns out it hasn't been so good. And I was just informed. It's kind of like, hey, Chris, by the way, she's missing, and oh, by the way, they had some problems. There was an injunction, a restraining order, or something like this. They had problems, and and the concern is, if you've kept me in the dark this whole time, that you didn't feel that it was, you want to respect. You didn't respect me enough to let me know what's going on in her life before this. Why would you inform to tell me that she's missing or perhaps dead? Why would you want to inform me of this? If you denied the respect.
Being your mother?
Huh?
And this being your mother?
Yeah, we had a disagreement on the phone where she hung up on me when I'm asking her this. I'm like, exactly where do you feel that, now that she's dead, you feel that you can talk to me about her or not? I don't understand. You know?
Well, they're not sure she's dead yet.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's missing. She's gone. I don't know what happened to her. I mean,
Yeah, it's really scary under the circumstances.
I mean, I just. You know, it's.
Close.
Huh?
I mean, did you have any contact with her? Or,
I was close to her without calling. I had a lot of respect, and I thought I was close to her. Right? The thing is if there's no, if you know, it's kind of like these things. If there's a problem, I'll call you. But if there's not, everything's going good.
Yeah. And as far as your mom, go easy on your mom. Can you imagine what she's going through right now? You know, I mean, really, I know you're upset that she didn't tell you before, but maybe she didn't want you to have to worry about her either, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, your mom deals with things strangely, obviously, so does mine. But just, you know, be supportive to your family. I mean, that to me is worse than even knowing, you know, what happened. I mean, you have to wait and find out, you know, what happened or where she is. Maybe if we're lucky, she just took off and ran her own way.
Yeah.
Have they spoken to the husband or anything?
Well, I think he's the one that reported it, but he's actually probably under prime suspicion.
Yeah. Well, how could he report it if there's a restraining order, though?
They lifted it. It was some kind of injunction. They lifted it.
Huh. Well,
God, I didn't know that this was going on.
yeah. Well, maybe if we're lucky, she's on her way up here. You know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but she didn't take a car, so I don't know how she would get up here.
Well, she could take a train then or whatever. So does she have kids?
Yeah, 3.
How old are they?
I think we're talking like 9, 7, and 4. Yeah, man, this is sucky. This is sucky.
Well, yeah. Terrible. And how long has she been missing?
Since Monday.
And your mom's got her until you now?
So they just found out. They just found out last night. And
They just found out last night.
Found out last night, and they told me today, this morning.
How did they find out?
I don't know.
Yeah, sounds really fishy. That's horrible.
It's.
How old is she?
She's about 38, 39 or 40, about 40 now, 40.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy, you know. Pray that she's safe.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sad and mad, and I have all these feelings of.
I know, and you have every right to them.
I mean, I'm mad because I never even had a chance to talk. I haven't talked with her on the phone this year, not because I didn't like her, but because I thought everything was fine. I thought everything was fine.
Well, she opted not to tell you too, though, you know, if you did talk to her. When's the last time you did talk to her?
In email, email was a few months ago. Email.
So, you know, maybe, girl, you know, then maybe she told your mom, you know, don't tell Chris.
She was saying, I guess the word is, she was trying to say she didn't want anybody to know. thing is that's everybody else in my family knew except me.
Well, maybe they, like I said, maybe they were just trying to protect you. Maybe they were afraid how you were going to react. But I mean, I understand how you feel, you know. You know, I mean, now you don't know anything, and just gonna have to wait for news. But you better try to keep the communication open with your mother, because she's likely the first one to kind of find out anything, and you want to make sure that she will call you and let you know.
Yeah.
You know, I have another friend in Montana, and his sister was murdered, and he was in, I think he was in Ohio or something when she was murdered, and his family didn't even bother to tell him, and then he moved back to Montana, and we went looking for her, and this was like, you know, years after it happened, and his father's ex-girlfriend was the one that told him that she was murdered, and I mean, he just, you know, had a really, really hard time with it.
This is a guy's sister?
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, his family was kind of strange anyway, but, yeah, his dad didn't even bother to tell him that she died, and him and her were really, really close, you know, but he went off to college or something, and she went back to Montana. What happened is she got involved with a drug dealer who got her hooked on some drugs, crack or something. And then, I guess she didn't get murdered, she OD'd on the drugs. But she died, and nobody bothered to tell him. And, I mean, to this day, sometimes when I talk, he goes, I just still can't, you know, believe that she's dead, you know.
Yeah, to not find out for 3 years, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know. And I knew her and everything, you know, he called me, and he kept saying, I think she's still alive, and I went, well, you know, you got the death certificate, you know, you've seen her grave, I don't think she's still alive, you know. But I mean, he just, in his mind, he had a hard time accepting it, because nobody freaking told him. That's bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
So you have every right to feel the way you do, just don't let it, you know, guide what you do, because you have to keep those communication lines open. Your mom kind of sounds like the type that would be cruel and honest to not let you know. You know? She seems like she's really sensitive and self-righteous like my mother used to be. So what I do, what I think I ought to do is, you know, somehow call her up and say, I didn't mean anything by that statement, and would you please, you know, let me know if you hear anything. Because you need to stay in the loop and know what's going on.
I truthfully, I'm not sure I want to hear anymore. I can't believe what I heard today. And I mean, I'm almost serious. At this point, why did they feel it was necessary to contact me when the catastrophes occurred, instead of informing me when all the symptoms of the catastrophe are occurring? I don't understand the lack of their respect to me. I'm not sure it's required. I'm not sure what I need to know from this point on. I don't know.
Well, wouldn't you like to know whether she's alive or dead?
Well, I'm sure I'll find that out. It's not like she hung up on me like we're not going to talk again. It's just she was frustrated because I had a good point. It's not like she's not going to talk to me.
Oh, yeah,
It's not,
okay. Well,
she's not. She's going to talk to me again. It's not. Don't worry about that. It's not about that. It's
that's
just.
what I was worried about. Because
Oh, we hang up each other. We hang up on each other on a.
Okay.
We hang up on each other practically twice a week, so don't worry about that.
Well, at least you have a relationship. Well, yeah, you know, and you have every right to feel the way you do. But try to look at it like maybe they were trying to protect you, or, you know, maybe your sister was trying to protect you. Maybe she got, you know, maybe she was embarrassed too. You never know.
That's I think so. I think that's what it is. You know, I think she's embarrassed. I think she thought, you know, Chris thinks that I've got a Beaver Cleaver, you know, marriage, and I'm afraid to let him know that the actual truth. You know.
Yeah. A lot of times in that situation, then some women are, you know, they're totally embarrassed. But should let people know about how bad it really is. Because then that means, you know, that they have to admit that they made a mistake or whatever, you know. It's really weird. I really know. But I hope she turns out to be all right.
Yeah.
So what's going on in your life? How's that training going and stuff? Resumes and stuff?
Well, I'm studying for another test, and I'm thinking about doing it a week from this Friday, a week and 2 days. So I might be. You still got that mattress set up?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I might bother you again. This time I can come on a Friday and do your Friday show.
Cool. That'd be fun. I'm sure Peggy will be happy to see you.
Who will?
Peggy.
Oh, Peggy. Okay.
Peggy family. He's nuts.
He's nuts. Yeah.
No, she said you're nuts.
That's yeah.
It's okay. I don't care what they think. I don't really like those two anyway. They're a bigger detriment to my show than anything. Her and Nellie.
Nellie's there on Fridays?
Yeah, she came back. Terry's out. Nellie's in. Summer. But we're having a special night at Croaky tonight. Hopefully somebody will show up. I'm not so sure, man. It's supposed to start getting really bad outside. So anyway, I'm not sitting here. I just got out of bed. I'm terrible. Dad stayed home today, so I slept in. But I gotta get up and get around. I got some running around before the roads start getting slick.
Okay, thanks for chatting.
Well, hey man, keep me informed, and if I'm not home, call me on my cell phone. Because
Okay.
I'm not home, I carry that, okay?
Okay,
And I love you, and I'll pray for you and your sister Kay.
thank you. Love you too. Thank you, Carrie.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Another guy might be wise, yeah. Maybe the love of her life, and it might be, what it looks like now, and that is somebody that lets her down. That's what he did. So, he was married also, too,
He's married too?
but in a very unhappy marriage, and that's how they actually started. But she was in a happier marriage than he was in a very, and she was kind of giving him. So,
I mean, I have I'm pretty respectful of Steph. I respect her. I mean, how come I never knew about any of this? How come I couldn't give her any advice
because she wouldn't let any of us give her advice. She would quit talking to her, but two best friends. as well as family, because the advice everybody was giving is, don't be in such a hurry,
don't do
have
it.
separation, right?
Don't do it. I mean, that's the bottom line. Dale's a good guy.
Well, yes and
I
no.
don't.
We had to actually let her have the space to know that she did or didn't want to stay with him.
No,
There was a big argument also. This is why she was
this is why she needs to talk to me, because I don't care what the hell the argument is.
She is.
You do not break it up.
You're right.
I've learned my lesson.
You're right.
You work through it,
You're
and
right.
you take your time,
That
because.
is exactly why.
And why couldn't I have been involved in giving her this advice? I don't understand.
She chose not to, and I was not going to go against her choices. Rick, you always say I have a big mouth and blab everything to everybody, and I don't. I keep people's confidence, okay? That was confidence. Like it or not.
But everybody else knew, right?
Because she chose to. She chose not to send them to you.
Chose emails. She chose not to send me emails. How many? 10? 5? 2 or 3 emails. Everybody else in the family got the email except for me.
Correct.
Is that because she's embarrassed? She's embarrassed that she's letting me down. She's letting me down.
She didn't say anything about it. Oh,
I mean, is it possible that she's embarrassed that her brother thinks so highly of her, and the next thing you know, she's doing these things?
oh, I'm not going to speculate. I don't know. Was it?
Or is it a lack of respect that I don't feel like having my mentally ill brother have any involvement in my life?
No, I think she didn't want to put any stress on you, and she didn't want you coming at her. I think she knew what you would do, that you would argue for her staying, and she didn't want that, you know. She didn't want anybody.
Freaking A, man, I don't believe this crap.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Well, listen, it's a little late. I mean, if she could, distribute it. I don't think I talked to her on the phone this whole year. Not because I didn't like her. I really liked her, Steph. I just thought everything was hunky dory with her. I had no idea. I had no idea.
It was.
Why couldn't somebody let me know? Why couldn't somebody
All
let
of
me know?
this took place in 4 to 6 weeks. That's all I know.
No, as far as I can understand, she changed in the last 2 days, since last night.
No, I'm talking about the divorce. The divorce was triggered on early October. None of us talked about it. I didn't want to talk about it. I had enough stress in my life.
Who would go and rent an apartment?
A house.
And in 2 days,
Yeah.
go to Denver, buy a bunch of furniture and a refrigerator, because the refrigerator she didn't like that was in the apartment, and then take it back 2 days later.
That's what she did?
She literally moved into this house and moved out in 2 or 3 days.
She returned all the furniture.
Yeah.
Back to Denver on Sunday.
Holy crap, man. What's going on with her, man?
Well, Chris, that's what I'm trying to say. We don't know. None of us would have even predicted that it had ever got to this, that if he had a breakdown this severe.
Now we find out that she reserved the hotel room.
Right. For tonight, possibly with this other guy. But that he might have given her the no on that and said, no way.
Steph lost her mind, huh? Or what? What's going on?
That's what we're saying. She might have. Did we shut the garage door?
No, yeah, she did, Mona did.
That's okay.
Mona did from the car. Yeah, Mona did from the car.
It's
Garage door.
She has our garage door opener, and then they'll put it in my car. I'll text Terry to do that. We're just trying to keep everything as normal as possible, Chris. We're trying to.
well, with what I'm hearing here, this sounds a little bit more like Steph is involved with this more.
Left house without any money. How far can you go without any money?
Maybe, no money, no
Go to
bill
a
for
bar
nothing
and get
except
picked
for
up by
stuff.
somebody that takes you out and kills you in the back?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe somebody's going to do that. I don't believe somebody's going to pick you up and
Well,
do
they had a
that.
bank
It's
robbery
possible.
that
You gotta look at that as a rare,
She
but
had,
likely
she
thing.
had no credit card? No
Well,
credit.
we don't know.
Well, no, for sure, she didn't have any cash either, we don't know, but she didn't have her purse, she didn't have anything with her. She decided to go for a walk at 10 o'clock at night, and nobody, and her cell phone was, what, discharged? Or she lay someplace with a broken back, you can't even call somebody even?
Get a lousy battery on that phone.
I mean, if she had just jumped ship to some friend's place, she's actually in trouble with the law right now, because that is,
The law's been checking all her friends,
I mean, if she's with she's
No,
possible.
not if she's got a mental issue. That's only,
Okay,
you're
well,
right,
that's true.
You're right.
I mean, we're looking at least a misdemeanor and maybe a felony.
Because it happens all the time.
Yeah,
This is
that
the full bail,
was,
this goes on all the time.
that,
Well, maybe with the economy it does right now.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
there are people missing.
I was just in a courtroom, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. They got 5 kids, and they lost a job. They had to move places. They got kicked out of their place. Next thing you know, they had an argument. I guess he pushed her. Next thing you know, I'm hearing this guy's going to jail for 90 days for pushing. And she's falling her ass off because she didn't mean to cause all this trouble.
But she didn't get to go to jail too and get free meals. I mean, that's how bad it could get.
No, but what I'm saying is that she called the police on him. Next thing you know, she's falling in the courtroom saying, "I don't want this to happen. Please let him go. Please let him go."
My kids need to eat. So they should be in jail.
To get the free meal, go to jail, right? Oh my God, I can't believe this.
Well, that's all bad. Steph lost a pretty good job, and he wasn't doing it as usual.
Did she lose it because she was having some mental instabilities or what?
They cut her job off. They eliminated her job.
Oh, well.
The county.
I guess we can figure that she wasn't. We've had 0 murders, rapes, robberies, and assaults in Silverthorne recorded, and I don't know what time frame, you know.
They had a bank robbery.
No, nothing. So the crime rate is very low.
They had a bank robbery deal.
Oh yeah, there just happened to be one that day or something.
Yeah. Bank robbery. Oh, I just believe that. Don't worry about it. All you do is expect the best. But,
Yeah, that's always a big deal.
I mean, if Hank isn't working on either. Hank's got the time to. I figured Hank would be the one to go walk all the trails and stuff, but it sounds like they've already done that. Another couple already did that. All the places where she might have walked. So, because there's that park over there by where they live, you know, too. Which there was snow or something, and get hurt, but it wasn't that much snow. It was cold that night, though. It was very cold that night in the northern Rockies. I think it was cold there too. Got down to 20 above below right here.
Holy moly, man! What's going on? And what is the normal
result of something like this? Since this is happening all the time, what is usually the result? That they just take off, or the normal thing that occurs from this is that they're dead, or they found them and they're just playing some.
Saying what the cops, but it's it's a family feud, and
That somebody walked off.
And usually the result is that they just walked off somewhere, right? Or is that they're dead? Which one is it?
No, dead. Dead? No, I don't think so. The thing is that they probably don't walk off without money.
Okay. She's got 3 kids, right? What are their ages now? 9, 7, and 4?
9, 6, and 5, probably. Or 9, 6, going on 5. 6 and a half, 5.
And she doesn't seem to care about this.
Well, no, this is where she had to have a breakdown because she was devoted to those kids. She does care about it. That's the only way she would ever walk away from those kids. If it was her own volition, okay? She would never leave those kids. But if she had a mental breakdown, she might have. She was so confident that they could do it with 2 homes, and she might have had a reality check. See, the little bit, Dale talked to me once about 3 weeks ago.
She went off and decided to have a second home right there in Silverthorne? What, a little apartment or what?
No, it was a house.
Renting a house?
And I would think that if she liked her job, it would have been in where she worked.
No, she wanted to keep kids close and familiar schools.
Well, anyway,
I can only hope, Chris, that she is alive and mentally off balance. That can be cured. If she had
but if she's not, she's in a better place right now.
Yeah, it's much easier to be dead, that's for sure, in today's day.
No, it's be easier.
When you came with the vacuum, I was talking to this lady on the phone who's going to be out of her house pretty soon, out of her job and house. And I was talking to her about, everybody seems to have another lady, remember the one that took, anyways, she broke busted up her knee on
Carrie?
slipped.
Carrie.
No, Rhonda's
Rhonda broke something.
She didn't break it, she twisted some ligaments and her knee's all messed up and she could be out of work and out of her home in 3 months.
Was she dancing too wickedly?
No, she was just outside.
That was a joke.
Well, she was dancing what?
Too wickedly?
Yeah,
Remember, she was really moving her hips, you said. I really
well, she was probably drunk, it's probably what she is.
Guys.
Yeah, she was probably drunk as usual, and, that's...
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah, she's,
Well, they're finding out that a lot of banks don't have the legal authority to do that either because they don't actually own the deed. They don't actually have clear title to that property that they're going to foreclose on.
Who's foreclosing on?
Banks that foreclose. A lot of them, people are going to start questioning that.
Now, the one thing about Dale's house is probably paid for, right?
Well, Dale, yeah.
It's definitely close to it, and he's got properties that help pay the monthly payments of whatever they do have.
I'm talking about other people that...
But anyway, he definitely saw that everything had money crunch because he was getting less money and stuff, and I think she was counting on the other guy maybe helping her. I think that she really was getting more and more enamored in as the weeks went by. As she saw that the divorce might be happening in the weeks.
Well, why would you say she feels hollow and empty?
Because if he broke it off, that might have removed her hope.
I could never even imagine hearing such a thing.
No, I agree. It's all bizarre for us. This is not the Stephanie we know. And I supported her whatever she did because that is what I do, Chris. And Steph and I had a very close relationship, and she hardly talked to me on this. And when we texted her, Terry and I coincidentally texted her after having no contact for over 2 weeks with her. We both texted her about the house that she was looking for Saturday, and we got a very positive reply. Yet that same night, less than 12 hours later, she was texting Dale and said she wanted to move back home. So something happened between, that's what Aaron's going to find out. He's going to talk to this boyfriend, and he's going to find out when and what their last communication was. If on Saturday, he gave her the final word and said, no, I want nothing to do with you, or this, that would have possibly thrown her in a deep depression. The thing is that if she was suicidal, how do you commit suicide by not taking a car? You know, there wasn't any way to do a convenient suicide in the area, so I just hope that she went off to find herself, went to some kind of place where there was shelter, but that maybe nobody...
Yeah, you would think though that something would pop up by now.
I
But
asked Dale if the keys were the keys were for that time. And Dale said they were at home there. Because that's what, I mean, maybe she drove someplace, she drove the car back from that. She didn't get suicide.
well, I feel better about Dale not being involved in this, but at the same time, it could have been him.
Yeah, it could have been just a moment of anger or something.
I did you see the document I sent you? I said,
No, I'm not in my mail right now.
oh, I was just like,
12. Yeah, I'll get to my mail eventually, but right now,
It's basically a document that's a sworn statement that says, hey, I didn't have any involvement with the misplacement of her, you know. And that will assure me that he didn't have any involvement in it. This is why I get people to sign these statements, Kathy, because it assures me of my safety, assures me of the suspicion. I appreciate it only takes a few moments to get the sign. It would actually mean a big deal to me.
right now that's, you have to understand that my mind is not on you.
Well, it's about, your mind should be on the suspicion of Dale. We should alleviate that and say, listen, he's not going to be involved because we got a statement here saying he's not involved. That would be important. That's exactly why we should be sending this around. I just sent it to you, but I'm saying you should send it to Aaron or whoever's over there and get him to sign this in front of a notary, because this is very important. This means that, hey, we can at least say that Dale wasn't involved in it.
Liars lie all the time.
They don't lie in front of me anymore, honey. They don't, honey.
Well, let's not argue. Come on, guys. Let's keep it.
This is what I've been doing. My legal this is my business. Is this legal profession that prevents people from lying.
We got to keep away from potential arguments.
I'm just saying this is my business that you disrespect all the time. I'm saying this is important. This is actually legal. What I'm talking about is actually legal in this world of court. This is very important. Especially that my sister's missing. I would like some action for a change instead of the old, well, Chris is just off in his own thing again, doing his own thing again. This is actually legal, what I'm doing.
Well,
I would appreciate some respect in this case, okay, please.
And I would appreciate some also, that I just made.
Well, just forward that, I just want to sign. Once I've signed, I'm like, okay, at least Dale's not involved in this. I mean, she's missing at 10 o'clock at night, she goes for a walk. That sounds suspicious. That does sound suspicious.
That's exactly what Steph was asking for. Is trust, room to mind herself, blah, 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 all that stuff.
Holy moly, man. I mean, if Dale saw that credit card receipt that said a hotel,
No, he didn't.
do you mean to tell me that Dale doesn't have the same credit card, that he couldn't spot that?
I asked Dale about the credit card. He said they did not have common finances, but they kept the finances.
And you just believe anything he says? Is that...
No.
But what I'm saying is, this is why I do my thing with my legal documents, Kathy, because it assures me everybody's telling the truth. That's why I do this. You can't just believe anything anybody says.
I don't believe nothing. God.
I don't mean
that he might be the one early on.
I'm just saying,
that's just the way it is.
be careful of what you hear and get it down in writing, because that's what my business is. That's why I do these things. That's why, unfortunately, you put me down as much as I do.
No. Let me ask you one question.
Yes.
You're telling me right now, don't believe just anything I hear. So why am I supposed to believe what you say? And I'm
It's
not
under
being-
oath, because it's under oath.
I'm not trying to be.
Because it's under oath. I'm not believing, you don't believe me, you believe only what I say that's under oath. That's all you should believe.
And what is you saying under oath?
What is what?
What are you saying under oath?
I do not molest Nicole Rolla.
All right.
That's what I said.
Okay,
I
so
say-
what, no,
I say-
no, that isn't what I'm asking.
What I'm saying is stuff like that. What I'm saying is I'm saying it officially. That I'm not,
But have you
that would
sworn
be allowed.
under oath that you're under oath works? Have you sworn under?
Yes,
See, that's
it
the
does
thing.
work. It does
You're
work.
telling me not to believe
Right, it does work.
just anything.
Right, it does
So then I would have to say, why do I have to believe you about this under oath?
Because you
thing?
can't sign a statement that's a lie. Under oath. That's why it works.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm willing to prove it. You want to go to notary in town? I can prove it to you. And what I'm saying is, if you start believing anything that I do in my business, and I've got some creed here, okay? And all I'm asking for, pretty simple, is a statement from Dale saying that a sworn statement saying I have not.
You know what? Stephanie could still show up. I want to see her show up. I don't want to see her. I want to have Stephanie alive.
Please, I just ask. What I'm asking for
What I'm asking
is not off the wall.
for
It's called a legal statement called an
what I'm
affidavit.
asking for, Chris, is to understand that I'm a grieving mother right now, and you are hitting me with stuff that I cannot
Hey,
handle.
I'm trying to find out what's going on. You should be on my side here. I'm trying to find out if Dale was involved. You should be saying, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Chris. Instead you say, well, Chris, how do I know that what you're doing is actually the truth?
Chris, we're at the point now where, I'm going to piss you off. You say I pissed you off.
I'm asking you to respect my
Let's
business.
have a 5 minutes of silence. Please? Please, Chris. You're good at timeout. Let's do timeout. Pretend you're hanging up on me.
Ernie, you mean to tell me all these pieces will fill in this puzzle?
No,
Oh,
the front thing is full underneath.
oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, that's not an easy one again either.
Oh, cool. Look at all the ones back here.
Yeah. I just took a great big Star Wars one apart. That I think that top spot here. Yeah, that's, I leave most of it together. But look at this one here. Okay, see that thing? There's the size of it. That's just one wing. Sucker. And I put that one together. But it was difficult. And it was missing a very critical piece here.
Can I see this? Is that over here? Or is that big? Where's it at? It's all inside.
It's in parts now. I just took it apart because it was sitting around.
You getting the picture of these, right? Before you take them apart?
Yeah, Kathy. See that piece there? That's a very critical piece, and when that piece was missing, that unlinked this whole piece here.
Oh no!
And that piece was missing, and that piece was missing.
Oh no!
And they say you can get them replaced, but Kathy thinks that maybe they're too old to be able to get those pieces replaced. But this paper here, when they got this paper here, you don't normally get. It would have been very difficult to put that thing together. This paper here is necessary to visualize. See here are all the pieces there, all the sections that you need. So they added this. Normally you don't get that. You just get the drawing one like this, and then the box, of course. You got to use the pictures on the outside of the box to get the whole thing. Because it's important to see on the bottom of this box. Yeah. You get the drawings there that get you the actual view. No 3D ones aren't bad. And those are all the small ones, yeah. Leaning Tower Pizza. Here, see? Got the Leaning Tower Pizza and the Eiffel Tower and Empire State Building. So I thought Mona was going to stay longer, but she was just trying. This was the way it was planned, Kathy, that she was going to go back today. I thought Mona was going to stay until Thursday. You know how long it'll be before this is ready?
For what?
Before this is ready?
Well, it'll be ready in about 20 minutes, but it won't taste as good as it sits in the refrigerator.
You're making the dressing fresh or what?
Yeah, what I have to do is add a few things to it, so, at first I was just gonna wait, and then I decided to go ahead and... What?
Make it thin. Do not make it...
that's not my dressing.
Oh.
It gets thinner. That was just to keep it from sticking. I just stuck a little bit of dressing in here.
Alright.
To keep it,
Keep it light on this.
You have to understand, this is not coleslaw. This is a whole different, this is a precise recipe.
Keep it light on the sweetness, on the too much
I'm making it the way I make it, which is precise, and the way I like it. And that's, I'm leaving it at that. It's not coleslaw. It's something entirely different.
Can I bust open the watermelon?
Yeah, go ahead. Or if you want this to eat, if this interests you, it was left for whenever it's a gyro and stuff.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, take the aluminum foil off. You would have done that, right?
This is more? Yeah.
Yeah, you would have taken the aluminum foil off. Right?
That goes on here, or that's just a...
No, this is a gyro sandwich.
Yeah, no,
gyro.
What is this?
That's a salad.
Okay.
A Greek salad. So you don't really want to heat that up, I don't think.
No.
I think you just want to heat the...
Oh, yeah, giddy up.
Gyro. You didn't know you were going to have it so good, did you? Okay.
Yeah, it's such a shitty day.
Yeah, well, the weather is definitely...
No, that's not why it's a shitty day, Kathy.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely put a damper on...
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, right?
Right, but, we're trying to keep it normal. If we go, we want to not be talking this to death, you know what I mean?
No warm-up thing? Sensor heat?
I don't know if that works that good.
I don't know what this is here.
I would just put it on for like 1 minute.
Sensor. Can it detect it or something?
Yeah, it can, but I don't know how good that works. So. Okay. To make you feel any better, Sarah Norman, who is Stephanie's best friend in the whole wide world, did not know any of this. Okay. We found that out this morning. Mona had her call.
It does make me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering why.
Yeah, well, she did not want to involve a lot of people.
Cucumbers?
Yeah, I put cucumbers in this, and there might be some left. So.
This was gotten last night? Not yesterday?
I think so, within reason.
This is Mona's or what?
Yeah. She had bought it in the city and brought it home. I actually have a potato peeler here somewhere that I got at a garage sale. That I want to use on my boat.
I can't believe Mona had to go to ER.
Yeah, isn't that horrible?
And yet the kid was fine within an hour.
No. She was sick when Mona left. Mona wasn't even sure that she'd be able to travel.
Oh, I see.
But she got better, made the trip fine, and then in the middle of the night, she wasn't breathing right, so Mona took her in
To where?
to
Again?
Mona being at Ridgedale in Birdsville.
So 2 places, 2 hospitals now.
No, just one. That
She just got in and then she took her to the hospital.
No, she did not take her to the hospital in Georgia.
She took her to the hospital?
You can treat croup yourself by steaming the kids and stuff like that, and she got better. But apparently she needed medication. That was when Mona took her to the hospital. And she had to drive 40 miles an hour with a kid that wasn't breathing very good because of the icy roads.
On Monday or Tuesday?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, it would have been Saturday when she came in.
How was she getting around with the vehicle? What vehicle is she using?
Oh, she's allowed to use Earhart. They have quite a few vehicles, so.
Earhart?
Yeah, the Kelsey is Kelsey is last name is Earhart.
Wow, Steph is acting, going out buying furniture. Good God, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she had to rent a house. That must have cost down
They lucked out. They had a 6-month trial separation lease is what it was called, and apparently got out of it. have it in 2 bowls because it's easier to mix. Then I'll put it all in one bowl.
Tastes good. Welcome.
I'm glad I thought of that. You got more appreciation out of it, I think, than Ernie might have, you know.
This is lamb meat, right? Lamb?
Yes, that's my guess. That's what they have a lot of. They can have it with other kind of meat, I suppose. But I think the tradition is mutton. Mutton was an older sheep.
Oh, mutton is older sheep. Okay. So you mean older actually tastes better than younger?
No.
sheep?
Actually, the baby stuff, that's why veal is more popular and all
Veal
that
is-
stuff. That's a baby calf. But, you know, the thought of eating babies is not, you know, something conducive to a lot of people, including me. So, I guess it doesn't matter eating an animal that's dead, so.
Well, this is really good. Really good meat. I mean, it's really tender.
Good. Yeah, they do that, yeah. I don't know if they tenderize it, but they have it, sliced really thin, I think, to where it cooks up well. See, what time did Mona leave? Did you pay any attention? I told her to call me. I'll call
Probably about 20 to
20 to 2, right? Or 1?
yeah, about 25 minutes ago.
Oh, that all started going? Oh, no. I think it was
It seemed like that.
long ago.
It seemed like I didn't get over here until about 12:30.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, then it's been 12:30 and she was out of here by 1. So right now it'd be an hour and she would have had to drive slower.
Oh, I'm off by an hour. I'm sorry. I'm off by an hour. I'm off by an hour. I assume she left about 25 minutes ago. Oh, wait. Forget it. Don't even have. I'm an hour off. Forget I said anything.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, this is good.
All right.
Hear me. Is there a place to wash my hands, or maybe not?
Well, yeah, right here.
I can use this.
Your eyes.
I can use
No,
this.
go ahead, right here. This is all clean. And just,
Oh,
you know,
dip
don't
it there?
splatter.
Okay.
Don't splatter in the
Yeah.
salad is all.
No, I'm full, so I'm gonna save it till later.
Yeah, put it in the fridge.
I see my squash, whatever the didn't go very far.
You know, Chris, there were so many things we were trying to eat.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if it's any good.
no, it's not. Just throw it away. But
But I mean, what did it taste like? Why
didn't-
did you bring it?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't okay for me. I had to put.
How
I had
did
to
you
put.
cook it?
I put it in the oven.
And what did you put on it?
Nothing. That was probably why it didn't taste so well
Oh,
because
it would have tasted really good if you would have known.
brown sugar or something. Brown sugar.
Oh, no, or you would give, yeah, you would have scraped all the squash out of the peeling, if maybe you did that. Then you mash it and you put in a little brown sugar, maybe a little cinnamon or not, and it's yummy, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that didn't make
But I
it.
have some down here, so, and we'll have squash at Gary's too, but I have some down here that
Oh, are you gonna make it right or what? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna make some or what?
No, but, Lois gave me those, and I'll make some sometime. But, like, did you buy them for the seeds, or what?
You know, I just saw them for 50 cents and I figured I'd give it a shot.
50 cents each, or?
Yeah. Buck or something. I paid.
Yeah, I felt bad about not getting at it, but I was having trouble eating up some of the stuff. When I finally got at my artichokes, they were old.
Well, I probably should take off here. Yeah, I'll take it with me.
What are you going to give that robot thing away?
Not yet. I think I'm going to give it to the school. I guess somebody over there might be able to use it. The robot kit, yeah, I was just going to give it away.
Well, I guess I kind of thought we should ask.
Well, he's got to give. It would be helpful if he found the CD and returned that.
Oh, you don't have a CD for
Well,
it?
yeah, the CD is, and it's cool.
Aaron didn't send it?
No. I talked
Oh,
about it.
and you couldn't find it online?
Yeah, it's online.
Yeah,
And
but it isn't.
why couldn't it be used online the way?
Can be. But it's
Bits and pieces.
going to make it a little difficult for a 13-year-old to figure that out. So it's going to be, you know, but
You figure Ernie would be interested in something like that too. That project that Ernie, but Ernie, it's too hard for you, right?
it's not entertaining enough. It's not entertaining enough. So it's just,
Give it away. Go ahead.
It's a lot of work for
It's an expensive toy, so give it
I
to
know.
somebody that will appreciate it.
I know.
Who do you know?
Well, I was going to give it to the school. They'll figure it out.
See, Aaron enjoyed it, but he just didn't have time to play with it. Oh, let's get these dolls off the floor.
You go from this way, and
You wanna?
I don't think Aaron was that enthused about it either.
Good magic word.
How you doing?
Where he was at, I don't know.
How you doing? How you doing? Hey, where you going? Hey, come here. I'm gonna head out.
The jury is, be awake at least by 9 tomorrow. We wouldn't leave that soon, but be awake that soon.
You wait by 9 tomorrow. Okay.
Be awake by 9. I'm guessing if we go with Lois, that she'll want to get there at least by 11, because that would mean we didn't hear about him. That's just a guess. I don't know.
Oh, I wouldn't mind taking some wine on too.
Oh, please do.
Take the whole thing and then bring back half it, or what? No, let's see here.
Whatever you want. Cut it in half or take the whole half, whatever you want. I might want some later. It's in here. It's here. Oh! This one was odd shaped. That's what I bought, an odd shaped one and a good shaped one, so I don't know what's good.
We can take half at home.
Yeah.
Put
And
it
then the
in.
other part will be here, yeah.
Give me the bigger half.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
And cut it right about there. Just to give us at least a taste. Oh.
Oh, it's a good one.
Who cares? This is good.
Yeah, it's definitely needs to get eaten, but it's
Well,
pretty
then
good.
that's fine. You'll dig into at least half of that right soon, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And then,
You
do
gotta,
you want this dish back, Chris? We probably could do.
yeah, just throw it out, and if you want to give it back, I don't need it, but you can give it back to me if you want.
I got stuff that.
Go ahead, throw it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to now because it's too old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got mold on it. So, I'll put
Is
it.
this waterproof? You think I'll get another bag and put it?
Yeah, get a couple bags here. 2 or 3 bags at least, then it'll go good.
I don't suppose I need you to drop that in here?
You sure can. Can I, afterwards, can we just drop this in? It's not washed real good, you're gonna have to wash. Is that okay? Alright. Oh. Okay, now hang on, I'll get another one. Oh.
If Dale would have seen that receipt that said she's got a reservation at a hotel,
Oh, I never thought of that, but,
if he would have seen that, then I could definitely see where, hey, Steph, why don't you come in the car for a drive? Let's go for a drive.
well,
Right? I mean, this is how it happens. This is how, and then he,
no, or it could have been, non-bloody destruction right there, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, the more she goes missing, let's say 2 more days goes by. By Friday, if she's not been spotted, I'm going to really suspect Dale. That they went for a drive and he dumped her off on the side of a road somewhere.
More and more I think about it, you know, she went to a yoga, that's the last I talked to her. I wanted to know how that works. She really felt she'd get clarity. She went to a retreat for 4 days.
Yep.
That had to do with yoga.
Yep.
She talked to me, she really felt clear, and in one point Gail mentioned she believes her yoga friends will help her.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where
Well,
she's at.
like I say,
She could be at somebody's house.
Yep, that's true. That's very true. I'm just saying,
But, you know,
by Friday, if she hasn't shown up by then, I'm going to say that she is definitely in the woods somewhere, and I'm pretty sure that Dale drove her there.
no, tomorrow, Ernie, we'll talk about it. Tomorrow, we're going to go there with Lois. If you don't want to go, you don't have to, but Chris and I, assuming that nothing has changed, or on a happy note, that we could be thankful that Steph is alive, right? That would be a wonderful Thanksgiving.
That would be a good Thanksgiving, you know.
Yeah, and so anyway, that's how we'll get the car back. So, all right, we'll see you.
All right, see ya.
You talk to kids, I say, Mom is my biggest girl, Stephanie's my middlest girl, and Gary is my littlest girl. And Steph would make jokes about being the middle child, you know how they say, the middle child is neglected. And there was a boy on each end and then 3 girls, and that was the way they ranged.
Steph is aware that when she took her vows that it's marriage until death do us apart, right?
No, not everybody does that, so I don't know if she took that vow.
I'm just saying she was violating a lot of respect.
A lot of people.
She's.
A lot of people see it that way, but
to be having an affair and investigating those kind of things is repulsive.
It's as Dale said, the emotional affair might even be harder than if it would have been a physical affair, because that meant her heart had gone to somebody else. But I don't know. I kind of think that we can control what we do with our heart as far as in the external world, but I don't think we can control our heart in who we love. I think loving is okay because we do need to love everybody. That's the commandment, the greatest commandment. But we need to also respect, as you say, vows that were made and so forth, and she did. And she was honest with Dale almost from forthright. So it's really between 2 spouses. She was honest that she did, that there was another who had captured her heart. And so, to me, I think...
Yeah, we don't know if it's totally or just
well, No, I do believe her when she said there was nothing sexual. There was a kiss, but nothing else.
I guess there was a hotel booking.
That's correct, but that was after the separation, which then usually it varies on what you can do. But yeah, there was a hotel listed under her name that she was going to be using Wednesday night. And yes, he was going to be part of that, but the situation was broken off prior to that, and I'm sure that had something to do with her soul searching. You know, whether she broke it off or he broke it off, we don't know, as far as that final. But Aaron did interview him, and he had deleted all his email.
Who deleted?
The boyfriend. So, Aaron wasn't able to get his email. May I share that a little bit? He wasn't able to get his email, the email, but Aaron's trying to get email from Dale and all text messages and stuff that are available. There has been some email gotten available on Steph's computer. So that's where we know about the strong affection besides of what Steph admitted to us in the family even before that.
So, Kathy, you prepared to take in her 3 kids? That's a possibility.
No, that isn't a possibility. It's not necessary because I know who she wanted to take care of them.
Okay.
And I would make sure that that happens. That's you're assuming that if Dale either is guilty or if he would die, you know.
Well, he's just going to have a hard time with keeping his business going with everything going on.
And you know what? The woman that has the kids last night, I guess there was somebody that, I found that information out last night. Her name is Jennifer. She's Stephanie's best friend and fellow dance teacher, and has been friends ever since Steph arrived there, I think. She also is very close to Dale, and she has been through the birth of every one of those kids. At one time, not with all 3 of the kids, maybe with 2 of them, but because she couldn't have her children of her own. And she really loved kids in general, and because she teaches little kids dancing too, you know. And she loved kids in general, and she loved Steph's kids, of course, as a friend. Stephanie did want her and her husband to be able to adopt the children or take care of the children should something happen to both her and Dale. And of course, Steph hoped that this would never happen. And the fact that Jennifer took over and is helping right now and will help Dale is what she knows that Steph would want. So when it comes to actually taking them, there's two choices right now. There were 3 altogether. When the baby was just a baby, Steph did have Barrett Norman, who she wanted to be a guardian connection because she felt Barrett is a very dear friend that graduated with her. You might know Dave Norman or Marlos Jacobson. That's their daughter. And so anyways, she wanted her to have the baby at that time if anything would ever happen because the sort of the larger, she just figured that Jack and the older one could go to Jennifer maybe, but let the baby go to her because she wanted somebody that knew her, Steph felt that who she was in school is what she wanted her kids to know about if something ever happened to her. So that's the nice thing is that I know these people. Oh, and then the 3rd choice was Anne Ronish. You know her, don't you, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
She's my brother's daughter. And she lives in Denver. My brother Hank and his wife and his kids, they all live in Denver, and they have been a strong, literally extended family for Steph. She has celebrated holidays there. You know, they've included her, and then they are big skiers. And so they have spent many a time at her place also. And so Hank was with Aaron to go up there to help. And Anne is his daughter, and she is a whiz when it comes to computers and stuff, so she's helping form different research or search party research things, and she's involved. And anyway, she's the one that Steph chose. In recent years, as her kids get older, she felt that Ann would be a good choice because Ann, she loved what Ann did with her children, the crafts and the this and the this and the that, you know. So she never chose anybody in the family per se because everybody in the family had enough of their own, you know, to handle or to take care of. So, and plus, of course, you know, she's lived farther away. So her families have been different. So I respected all of that. So whatever happens, if Dale is not connected to any of this, Jennifer will be there, Chris, as a half. And then Dale will keep all of us. That's the good thing, is that Dale will want, because he will know that Stephanie wanted the kids to know their Roller relatives. Dale has hardly any family. So extended family, and especially with Ellie, knowing everybody so well. And so I know that, and right now Dale welcomed Aaron and Hank and anybody else that came from the family to spend time in the house. He's allowed the police to search his house every which way. Right, but some people will say no and make him get a search warrant, you know, and he didn't. And he let Aaron have access to his computers so that he can help there and stuff.
That sounds like right there that he's got something like that.
Well, or else he's got it hidden so well that he figures nobody's going to find it. And you know, we don't think so. I mean, but you have to realize it could have happened because of the circumstances. Just a part of her reason for wanting to divorce him was his extreme outbursts that he would have sometimes during their marriage, and that she had to deal with and work through. And if he could have had one of those, and it was an accident, but it could have still happened.
You know, if Steph was behaving the way I've heard she's behaving, I can understand why there'd be outbursts.
No, this was years ago. This was, sorry, Chris.
I'm sorry, this kind of behavior, I can see why there'd be outbursts.
He's been wonderful, though. He has been so cooperative. All of us have talked to him in the recent months, and he has said, I love her. I will do what I can do. I will forgive this. He said, I might be hurt, I might be angry, but I will not hold this against her. I want her back. I want her with my family.
I'm just saying.
So
I'm
he's
just
been
saying,
hurt, but not.
I don't think we should be blaming Dale for having any outbursts when behavior like this is occurring.
No, we're not. No one's saying there's blame.
I don't. I just want to stick up for a guy here for a change, because I just want to make sure that this guy.
You know, from day one we stuck up for him. We wanted him to get the house.
I just, from what I'm hearing, this behavior that Steph has been exhibiting, if this has been going on for years, I can definitely see where...
It hasn't. Listen to the facts. It's been going on for 2 months. She just met the guy. She never had another
this
guy.
type of behavior, if it's been happening for the entire marriage, I can definitely see where they've been having some arguments.
Well, no, they're human. They've had their arguments. But he took extreme... The gist of it is, I mean, we know this because that's what was in the injunction, is that one time Dale had his hands around her throat. And another time he had her pinned down on the floor with his knee on her chest. There is no argument that deserves that kind of treatment.
Oh, I think, you know, this kind of behavior, you know what? There's only so much steam that can build up until you got to start getting...
Stephanie was a young woman.
That is despicable what she's been doing.
Stephanie was pregnant with her oldest child when he had his hands around her throat.
You know, I don't know,
There was no illicit affair. There was never, ever, ever anything, ever. Steph would never. She was as faithful and true blue. I had always said, I understand. I'd always said with any of my kids, and they know this, that I understand the heart and how we can be attracted. And it's what we do with that attraction that makes it right or wrong. And Stephanie said, I've never understood that. what you meant when you said you can love two people at the same time. But she understood it after she met this one guy, and that was in the last 2 months, Chris. So just listen to the facts and don't justify what Dale did, because that is what ultimately was her fear, because he had an outburst that morning with the kids, not with her. And in the last couple of months, or years, I mean, they have had a very deep and good relationship. So that's why it was a blow to Dale when she filed the injunction.
Well, she's off in Wonderland again. I mean, I can understand the frustration that would get built up if she's just doing erratic things all the time.
Well, it's okay.
It's not okay.
I know it is for me because I'm her mother. And I have unconditional love for her, and I will help her.
She is in a marriage of a contract to raise 3 kids together, and then she is doing some bizarre stuff on the side. That's bizarre. That would just make anybody upset.
Yes, and then of course, but in the court of law, it isn't acceptable. Even under, even when you find your spouse in bed with somebody, if you shoot him, you go to jail. Years ago, they used to overlook that, though. You know that, Lois? It used to be, because it was a man's world, that if it was his wife, that guy could just about get by with murder, She might not be able to get by with murder because she had less rights. But yeah, it was definitely an unwritten law that it was more understandable. The jury was more sympathetic if there was something like that involved. Not as easily, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But now, what they do nowadays, there have been women who have killed in self-defense or, under years of abuse, and that has been given consideration. And, so now all kinds of things come out because we have more lawyers who dig all these tricks up. So anyways, but I'm just saying that, well, Chris might be right. Emotionally, we're going to understand a lot of this anger. Nobody is holding anything against Dale. Chris, you've got to understand that. What you don't know is the minute Steph mentioned divorce, all of us in the family wanted nothing but the best for Dale. We wanted an amicable divorce if she was going to have one, and we wanted Dale to get the house. You can't be more giving than that, Chris, when it's in-laws.
Be more giving by telling Chris Roller what's been going on.
Stephanie, that was her choice.
I don't know if you guys know or not, but I didn't know any of that. I didn't even know they had any marital problems until just yesterday.
Chris, that would have been revealing.
Well, yeah, I think if I had to talk to her, I would give her some advice, let her know that she is in a contract of marriage, and you should be giving her wisdom instead of encouraging her to have an affair. You should be saying,
and what do you think everybody did?
Oh, come on.
Everybody else
You've been talking the whole day here, yesterday, about,
me.
Let Steph do what she wants, because she's in love, and she's...
only one. No.
Bless her heart. Oh, I want her the best for Steph.
What I have done is, because I have counseled her on all the times when Dale went for her throat, when Dale, whatever. In one event, I did not know. And that was, we were there, and Ernie noticed that there was a broken bathroom door. And Steph said, yeah, the lock was locked and they couldn't get in. But she said that was a lie. She had gone into the bathroom door and locked it to protect herself. And he broke down the door. And so when all of these times, I have told her and I've always been the first one she would call, once she revealed it to Carrie and Aaron about his death threat, because he had threatened to kill her once. And the thing is, with these things, she has realized it was just a momentary temper, and she did love him. She was able to work it out and heal it. So anyway, Chris, everybody else fought for her to stay with the marriage because of everything you've mentioned, and I was the only one that said enough is enough. She gave, just like these guys' daughter. They encouraged her to stay within a marriage as much as she could until it got to the point where enough was enough, and Diane got a divorce, and they supported her. Am I right on that? You can just only encourage somebody to keep their vows so long, and then there has to come a time when it is
You guys are
okay.
saying, okay, this and this and this and the divorce. Oh, and Dale gets the house. Instead of saying, step back and keep the marriage going because it's the best thing you've got going. I'm telling you, Steph,
Except
don't
that
do it.
one-
And you're giving her advice that's
Right.
disrespectful of that idea.
That's fine.
You're saying,
My
you gotta go
choice.
for the divorce because everything's gonna be hunky-dory.
No, I didn't say
That's
that.
wrong.
I did not say that, but she had to learn her own lessons. She's 41. I'm not about to treat her like a baby.
I've learned my lesson, and
That's right. And yours is a different lesson than hers. You cannot
Oh,
give her your
I can.
lesson. You
If somebody
cannot
would have
give
told
her
me
your
what's going on, I could have given her the right advice, and she'd probably still be around right now.
Maybe, but she actually went back to him and she's not around.
Well, that's probably.
Now, Chris, everybody
Oh
has
my
to
God.
take their own time.
I mean, it's just so obvious to me what has happened.
Well, it's not to me. I don't believe that it had to happen, that it's any death here. I figure it could be any number. There could be 5 different possibilities. And while Silverthorne is a really safe area, hardly any crime, it's
That's
still...
why she went out to walk at night because I mean,
Right. Oh, yeah. So, at the same time, as you know, when you have these rural abductions and stuff where you think you're out in the middle of the boonies and you see people getting murdered there once in a great while, or having a child kidnapped once in a great while, like the boy up there in St. Cloud area, the one that is so well known. Then you realize that there is no guarantee to any safe place. So, Steph, we've allowed all of that. But on the other hand, we have great hope that she is having an emotional breakdown to where she needs time to sort it out, and that's what our hope is.
if we hope she makes some contact.
Yeah, well, that's the hope. If she's alive and safe, she will make contact. Somebody will see her. That's the whole idea of getting her picture, her description, and everything else out in the county so that if anybody would see her, they could report it. There's a hotline number.
Jeez, man.
Aaron and those that have been helping him, including the police and local friends, have been awesome for getting out the information. That needed. Oh, absolutely. One of Steph's best male friends, and yeah, Chris, she does have a guy friend that is the best buddy. And she's always been a person that had best friends that were guys, I think I told you, Lois, that Steph had no romantic interest, hardly at all, in any guys in her teen years. But she had guy friends that she was as devoted to as her female friends. And she has this one guy friend that she met when they were doing Alaska volunteer work, I think it was. And his name is Bill. And he's a good friend of Dale's, too. And his sister works for the media. So look at all our connections. We're so fortunate. So she had everything out in the media within that day, Chris.
Who did?
Bill, a male friend of Steph's from... The friend's been there for almost 20 years, so...
So, if say, the theory that if Dale did this, do you have forgiveness in your heart, or?
Absolutely. Because it would only hurt me if I didn't have that forgiveness.
I mean, do you have understanding?
Absolutely, and because all of us understand what it's like to lose our temper to the point of not being rational people. To take it to that extra step, an accident can happen, stuff like that. So, would I be hurt? Would I be angry? I'm not going to worry about that. But I'll tell you one thing, I will not be one of these that would have vengeance. I'm not a vengeance person. We had that theoretical argument 20 years ago, Chris. You don't remember it maybe, but I do. Because we were talking about forgiveness at that time, and you were giving me scenarios there and saying, would you forgive in this case or this case? And I would say, yeah. And you said, I can't believe it. I just can't believe anybody would. And it was if somebody murdered one of your kids. And I said, yeah.
That's all you can do is pray for the best.
Yes, well, you pray for the best, that everything is fine, that she is fine. And then you pray for our healing after that. If it becomes the worst, then you go for the healing. And Chris, this is going to be this is not my first child that I've had to deal this with, and I will heal. And as I shared with one friend, you go through the negative, but joy does come in the morning. That is the biblical phrase. I don't know if you know that one, you know. And you have the darkness of the night, but with the dawn, joy comes in the morning. So if you want to hold on to the darkness all your life, you can. But that was the one thing that I never wanted controlling my life, was letting bad things.
So she did file for divorce?
Yes, and he was working with her amicably, just like you and Maria did. The way you and Maria did it was beautiful, and the way they did it was beautiful. But it was a 60-day event, and so it was no way even close to final. And they were going to try to work it out for, as you say, the kids' sake and for the love. And she loved him very much. She never felt, you know, she didn't, you can't help not loving somebody. But there comes a point to where can you live with somebody when that love is not as deep as maybe it was. So, you know.
Oh, God,
I know.
The whole thing is just unbelievable. I mean, when you start thinking about it, that I didn't know any of this was going on. I didn't know that this was happening. It's not like I called Steph because I assume everything's going fine. Otherwise, I'd give her a call. And I didn't know. Everybody kept me in the dark.
She wouldn't have talked to you because she wasn't calling Carrie back. But then right at the end, she was going to call. She was willing to talk to Carrie on the phone. And Carrie, because she was going to a 50th wedding anniversary, said, I'll call you later. And she didn't. And Carrie feels guilty about that because she would have been her last contact with her. Just literally a day or two before this happened. And I told Carrie, don't, you know. But prior to that, Steph was not talking to anybody because they all were saying, stay, make it work, blah, 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 blah. And I was the only one that, well, I sure didn't give her go ahead and do it. I gave her a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde scenario of this boyfriend. I said, yes, he might be as great can be. And so I can't argue on that. But I said, Steph, you've got to look at it this way. He might just be this, and this, and this, okay? And she did not like that. She said so. She said, I don't want to hear that. And then she wasn't real quick to call me after that either. But then I reached out to her and I said, I know that was a little harsh, but I had to do it. I said, because I have supported you in this possibility, I also felt I had to be the devil's advocate. And she said, I didn't like you as the devil's advocate. Right, and that's how close our relationship is. She and I could be honest and say, hey, I don't like that, but I love you, and let's keep the communications open. And so I have no guilt. I have nothing but, you know, but love, and
oh my mama.
And I hear her voice on the phone. Hi, Mom. This is Steph. You know, when she's really, you know, she just was always so cheerful most of the time. Unless she wasn't, then it was, hi, Mom. This is Steph. And one of the pictures that they're using, I'll show it to you, Lois, when we get to the house and I pull up my netbook, but it is so Steph. They had two pictures up. One of them just wasn't that great. It was her made up, and it just, you know how sometimes you can just take a not so good picture that doesn't look like you? And that was the way that one was. And then Mona pulled out what she said was one of her favorite pictures, and I agree with her, and it is so real. It is so Steph. And I don't know how many times you've seen Steph. It was at Ernie's benefit, a birthday, and what else? The wedding. But that might have been the only 2 times you've ever seen Steph, right? Oh, wait a sec. Every time we've had a get-together, though, in the summer, yeah.
Once during the summer, we seen her at Wayne's here.
Exactly, yeah. A year ago. Or 2 years ago. 2 summers ago. Whenever we've had a family get-together, you guys have always been invited. So, yes, you have seen her. I don't know, you probably weren't in our yard, but you probably maybe didn't get that one. But when Ernie was retired, they had a celebration. Well, he was laid off, but we turned it into a celebration party instead of and it was a Hawaiian theme, and Steph and Carrie were both pregnant with their mutual daughters at that time, and it was July or August, so they had these huge bellies with grass skirts on at one point, so that was fun. You were there, Chris. You were living in Sioux Falls at the time, and so you and Maria came to that party. You know, Ernie's laid off party with the Hawaiian theme, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris, I had to get used to the fact that Dale might not be part of our family because, see, I've been around them more than you ever have. I've gone to Hawaii with both of them, all right? I've gone to Florida on a vacation with both of them. I've been at their house many times. For weeks. I've been there for weeks and weeks at their house. I've been there for every baby. I've been there when he had to be gone for 2 months and Steph needed help with the kids. So, that's for sure. Yeah, and I wouldn't be there for the whole 2 months, but I'd go there for 2-3 weeks so that it would lighten it up, you know. And so trying to picture him not being part of her life when I come visit was very strange, but we all would have kept him somewhat there, just like we keep Maria very much a part of our life. She's very much part of our life. Absolutely. Well, yeah, there would have been shared. There was going to be shared custody, without a doubt. That would have, with them and stuff. So if we would have had a family get together where everybody was invited, we would have invited Dale to come too, since the kids would be there. And Dale knows our family and kids, and may want to, you know, be in touch. He's a professional photographer, as you may recall. He's taken many wonderful pictures that you've seen. You know, he took the engagement pictures, I think, of Dwayne and Carrie. And he took pictures at the wedding, and you've seen many of those. And he took pictures throughout the years, whenever we would come, that were just really good. And, but you know, you're on Facebook. You know, send him a message.
Send who?
Dale, I mean, you feel so
I did. I
strong.
sent him an email yesterday.
Good. Good. You know, that you're wishing the best. And
I basically, I apologize for Steph's behaviors, and I did.
Well, that's fine.
But I'm also assuming that there's a Chris Rock has a comedy bit with O.J. Simpson, and he says, you know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I understand.
Everybody does. That's why different circumstances that's why murder has different degrees. You know, when it comes to trial.
I mean, when it comes to what's that word I'm looking for with this volatility? You're in a moment of.
It's called temporary insanity.
No, it's a.
Well, it is.
There's another word. One word. You know, during the heat of the heat of the moment is one word for that. The heat of the moment.
Yes, that is what it is.
You sort of, like you said, temporary insanity. You sort of don't have
control of yourself.
Yeah, and next thing you know, things are happening, and now it's too late.
So that's why we try to encourage people to notice when that type of anger is happening, so that you do walk away and it's not too late. So you know, you're not educating me, you know, Chris. I think I've been around the block a few times.
Jesus, man.
If I haven't been, then it's time for me to go 6 feet under. That's what my dad used to say. He said, when I get too old to learn anything, it's time to knock me on the head with a hammer. He had a lot of folksy things. I've forgotten most of them, but he just had me, and I was the type of person that I would say, does that really happen? You know, if he used a description like, I don't know what it would be.
Oh boy.
You know, where it's kind of a euphemism, but you take it literally and say, well, do they really? You know, like when pigs fly. You know, maybe I might have looked at them when I was little and say, well, pigs don't fly. You know, because you don't understand the euphemism part of it and stuff. But my dad was great for having all kinds of... And he was that way, and I'm that way. I've just always believed that we're not too old to learn, and there's always something new.
Oh, mama.
But having been married for 40 plus years, Chris, I think I know the ins and outs of what can happen, you know, in a relationship and how we have to work at it sometimes. You'll notice I only said 47 years because I have no idea unless I do the math.
You're not keeping track.
You guys have probably been married longer than me, no? No. How many years?
48.
Oh my gosh, you have been. Why did I think that?
Wow,
Because you've
48
kids,
years.
You have kids older than I do, that's why.
Well, yeah.
And in our day, we had kids young.
You guys got married when you're like in your younger 20s then?
I was 21 or 2.
Okay.
I think it was.
Well,
Those are the days when you
Good job.
Those are the days when you waited till you got married, Chris.